Well, well, well. Hello there, fellow space cowboys, cowgirls, and cowpeople of all kinds. Welcome to an excellent stream. I'm being told it's excellent. I've been monitoring Twitch, which has been saying strange things about the quality of the stream, but it now says excellent, so there we go. Hi, welcome. My name is Pixel, I'm your They Them Forever DM, and tonight we are playing a solo RPG that is not Call of Cthulhu. That's right, we're branching out into the wild, wonderful, wacky world of the Dead Belt. A solo RPG for Space Cowboys. An excellent chance for us to explore something that's different, a little bit new. It has a bit of a departure from some of the other games that we have played, some of the other solo games that we have played here on the channel. It's a little different to Call of Cthulhu. It's not a choose your own adventure, and it's also not the normal dry couple of dice rolls and we're done kind of solo procedural dungeon that we've seen recently as well. So hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm really hoping we're going to have a lot of fun. For those people who are both new and also returning, you may note that we're in the fantastic position of having my favorite feature on all of Twitch is now here on this channel. If you take a look down, I believe it's the bottom left of the chat box, you may see a little NB heart, little non-binary heart. Those are channel points, dear viewer. You earn them by watching the stream and you can spend them on miraculous things. So far we've got a couple of basics that everyone on Twitch seems to have, which is nice. Things like Hydrate. You can redeem that for, I think, 100 points, and you can tell me to take a sip of this here water. Other beverages are available. You can also tell me to stretch, but there's 3 that I want you to pay attention to for this stream for us today. There is Inspiration for 1,000 points. I have no idea if anyone's going to get that high this stream, because I don't remember how long it takes for you to accrue points, but if you get 1,000 points, you give me a free reroll that lets me keep the better result. It can help us out in a jam, which would be very lovely if you want to spend your channel points to support us in this way. There is also, for 1,500, Take the Wheel. That will give you the chance to determine the next 3 actions we take in-game, whether that be moving back and forth between different modules of a spaceship, choosing to just make rolls to try and screw me over, essentially. It's up to you. And if you are indeed of that less charitable mindset, there is also, for also 1,500 points, Disadvantage, where you force me to re-roll my next successful roll and take the lower result. The worse of the results, rather. Because sometimes rolling high is actually worse. Not always, but sometimes. But that is nice. You can also subscribe and give bits, but honestly, the channel points, that's what really matters. So I hope that you enjoy that. I may as well... Libard's already redeemed a Hydrate for 100 points, so absolutely I will have a sip of water on you, Libard. Also, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Hail Hydrators, Dark Wolf says, well... You know what? I'm not gonna do the salute, but I will absolutely have some more water because, delicious lifeblood. The thing we all need to survive in one way or another. Without water, we really would be well and truly screwed. But yeah, there we go. I also have a little thing up on the screen down the bottom. You might have seen it. It says New Cowboys. If you want to go ahead and follow the stream, if you haven't already, you can be one of our new Cowboys for this stream. Good thing you didn't do the Hydra Salute, you would drop the bottle. I mean, I could have kept the lid on and done it, I guess. I'm gonna have some more. You know, you're getting a lot of value for your 100 channel points. And it's also very good to know that they do in fact work as well, so thank you very much for that, Labard. But yes, today we are playing Dead Belt, a solo RPG for Space Cowboys. And I'm going to quickly go ahead and give you just a quick glimpse at the system that we're going to be playing. Going to go ahead and queue up our main view. And you can see, for some reason, the fancy, cool nameplate that I had for the stream has reverted to our normal one. Which, I mean, you know, these things do happen. Let's go ahead and fix that up, shall we? But this is the front cover of the game, for what it's worth. This is the front cover of the game, and it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. This game is, as we'll go into in a little bit of detail once I'm done fixing certain things up. This game is available on itch.io. It is a wonderful little game. I say little, it does seem to have a fair bit of complexity packed into it, which is nice. There we go. And away we go. Away we go. I have no idea. Nope. Apparently we don't. Oh no, yes we do. There we go. Now we look a little bit better. Yeah, this is Dead Belt. This is a solo RPG for Space Cowboys. It is made by the wonderful Couple of Drakes. We have specifically, if we head on over to, I have a tweeter up. We have the itch page. We have the Couple of Drakes page. This is Sean and Navi Drake, aka a Couple of Drakes. They write their game. They write games, and this game was, I can't remember the circumstances in which it appeared. It definitely wasn't a fever dream, I'll tell you that much. But it showed up on my Twitter page and it looked phenomenal. And I mean, look at the design. Let's head back to that main PDF. The design is phenomenal. You can see the really nice cool stars and moons and stuff all down the side. That's on every page. This really cool like combination like Rose and Biohazard thing we've got going on. It's really well designed, it's really well written, it's laid out really nicely. It's also a very quick and easy game to get into. I say that, it does have some complexity, but it really is, based on my experiences so far, quick and easy. Watch me screw up the rules live on stream though, because we all make mistakes. But yes, this is the game. You are not alone out there, but that's the way we like it, out here in the Dead Belt, surrounded by the carcasses of spacefaring history, ripe for plunder and picking. Another heartbeat means enough time for someone else to give your justly prized and prize salvage the old hairy eyeball. That means trouble, and there's enough of that out here as is. We are going to be playing a space cowboy attempting to salvage ships, attempting to salvage all of the good things off of dead ships out in the asteroid belts, so that we can hopefully pay off our debt to the bank, because we are absolutely in debt, because we are trying to start a whole new enterprise here, and hopefully we will wind up with enough cash to pay down that debt and retire happy. Or continue to salvage things forever and ever, because we can never escape the thrill. It's yet to be determined which one of those it's going to wind up being for us, but that's okay. These things happen. So that is the itch page. I'm going to go ahead and pull up. I've got a little funky document here. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to this into chat so you can go and check it out for yourselves. It is 10 US. It is well worth the 10 US if you ask me. You do get the full, lovely, colourful, the lovely full colour PDF of the game, and you do also get a player's guide, a little player's kit, not a player's guide, a player's kit, which includes a character sheet, which looks a little something like this here, if you take a look down in the little corner where it is now, as well as a cheat sheet that will help you to play the game. But of course, I don't intend on having a physical character sheet and only showing it to you in a tiny window. No. We have ourselves a whole setup for this game that I'm going to quickly show you before we delve into the rules. Because this game involves the use of a deck of cards in an interesting fashion. So I have gone ahead and I have done, I won't lie to you chat, the dodgiest possible job in setting up for this stream. But the result is we have an overhead camera view that's only a little bit not well lit for various reasons, but we can see the character sheet, we can see our dice tray. I have a new dice tray, by the way, check that out, a little envy background. We can roll our dice there. We've also got, you can see that's the deck of cards all the way over here. That represents the ship layout. That's going to be our first ship that we go ahead and try and salvage. And you'll also see I have the rest of the deck of cards is right here underneath this Joker, which is also important, but for different reasons. So when we get into the game, side of things, we will be able to have a look at things in this wonderful view here. Yep. Let's go ahead and just quickly move the chat box so that it's not quite on my face, shall we? Would be a little bit wonderful. There we go. Get you guys off my face. Get out of my grill. Got enough going on as is. But yeah, so we are going to be playing this wonderful game. It is called Dead Belt. What we're going to do first, before we dive in, is because it's new, because it's not as easy to, introduce as saying, "I'll go read the Call of Cthulhu rules," we are going to go through the rules quickly together, and then we will get started. I've already built, you've already seen, I've already generated our first ship. I have already picked a spaceship and a cowboy for ourselves. So we're just going to go through the rules to start off with. Starting, we'll move past that nice bit of fluff. We'll move past this little intro as well. But yes, welcome to the edge of civilization, Belter. It's the loathsome frontier out here on the periphery. The worlds here have been seeded with the first blushing kiss of concordat technology to be able to support our growing population, but it'll be a while before they're comfortable. There's a bright shining center to the Terran concordat, but that's a long way from here. But you aren't here for the hard work and low wages, are you? No, you came out to the Dead Belt for the salvage. When ships get too old, too dangerous to be of use anymore, they get dragged out here and left at the tide line. The supermassive black hole, Sarg A, pulls the old wrecks inexorably into its maw to be crunched down into singularities, so that the powers that be don't have to worry about them anymore. That's sort of how they feel about the most of us, I expect. Out here on the edge, living by our wits and trying our best to scrape by. It'd be more convenient if Sag A pulled us in too. What you see is what you get, and what you get is a good old-fashioned frontier lifestyle, Belter. There's folks trying to make a living out in the wilderness, boom towns in the form of habitat stations, plenty of villains picking at the seams of civilization, and a few hard-nosed prospectors who've come out to the belt to find their fortune, mining for gold in the bones of the Concordat technological prosperity. That's where you come in. This is an Oracle-powered solo strategy RPG about skillful, desperate scavengers picking over the remains of junk ship. We need a set of common playing cards, which we have, 2 6-sided dice, which we absolutely have. I have these other little technological-looking wonders here, which I'm very happy with. I do enjoy these dice. We need a few small tokens. I do inform you that I have small tokens. We'll grab them as they're needed. A printed or drawn out character sheet. We do have a printed character sheet, and we do not have a printed copy of the game because that would be silly. I don't need to print out a whole PDF. The core gameplay loop, it revolves around building a belter and taking them out to the belt to scavenge dead, randomly generated starships. We will deal with the dangers lurking on board, push our luck, and finally return to spend our hard-won booty. We got our bird's eye view. This is going to be a bit of an overview of our stats and how we can use them, as well as the indication on the dice that generally a result of a 1 to 3 on a d6 is a failed roll, a 4 or a 5 is a weak hit, and a 6 is a strong hit. So if you're planning on using those channel points to make my life easier, you're going to be giving them to me so that I can reroll 1s and 3s. If you really want to make my life harder, wait until I get a 6 and then redeem the reroll. That's how you want to screw me over. Our primary stats are grit, our calm, experience, luck, and ephemeral edge. We spend grit to turn a failed roll into a weak hit. We cannot make a weak hit into a strong hit, just, And when we mark off our last point of grit during a salvage, a threat will appear. That is one of the ways in which threats appear as we play the game. We have a gear stat. That's our tools, shop stock, batteries, and workarounds. We spend a gear to add +1 dice to our roll to navigate a module or another prompt. Load is how much stuff we can fit into our carryall in a single trip. I will give you a spoiler alert. Our load is 2. We can carry 2 things at a time. Glow, we have an Omni Flash. It's a battery, essentially. If we really want to banish the dark between the stars, we can dump an entire battery pack into a focused beam to get a sense of what's ahead of us. We always start with 1 glow, and we can use a charge of glow to see what's in an adjacent module before we enter it. The kind of thing that we probably want to save until we're very low on resources anyway. And we have gas, which is our oxygen, to be precise. We have essentially rebreathers that will recycle the air that we breathe to keep us going, but every time we enter a new ship module, or are otherwise prompted, we will check our gas level by rolling a d6. if we roll at first, if we roll a 1, then our failure range increases. Essentially, we start running out of gas. After we roll a 1, we have to increase our danger on a roll of a 1 or a 2. A roll of a 1 or 2 or a 3 if we do it again, and so on and so forth, until eventually it's practically guaranteed that we will die by having a gas check. And if that's ever happening, we really want to get to an airlock real quick. It's funny because it does specifically say if ever your failure range increases to 6, even if you have technically made it to your airlock, you have run out of oxygen. Better luck next time. Q nothing but ones. Yahtzee. Absolutely, you are right. You are absolutely right. It's going to happen. That's why we have multiple dice in Sano, because we can have a 1-on-1 dice, and we can have another dice that never gets a 1. So we can just, throw bad, naughty dice into the dice jail as normal. We have secondary stats that will probably matter a little less to us tonight, because I don't know how much we're going to get into it on one session, but we'll see, and we're probably going to pick this up again next week, depending on how successful we are. We have cred, which is our cash. We sell off our cargo to get cred. We use cred to pay upkeep, pay down debt, make investments, or purchase upgrades. Everything starts with 1 upkeep. It's essentially we need to pay 1 cred every time we do a run to maintain our vessel, and our upkeep goes up if we upgrade. Cargo is, of course, where we put our good loot when we get it. When we find a module to scavenge, it will tell you how many load worth of loot there is, and load, cargo, and cred are all 1 to 1 to 1. Upgrades have costs. Debt, on the other hand, is a 1 to 10, so 1 debt is equal to 10 creds worth of debt. So we really don't want to be in debt. We really want to pay that down as much as possible. Although for half the cost of paying off a debt, we can take out an investment instead, which lowers our upkeep by 1. 1 investment costs and maintains a value of 5 cred. We can cash out our investments for their full value at any point, as long as we do it before we pay upkeep. Overview, need to know mechanics. Birds are the pet name for dead ships floating out in the belt. We've got deck plans for those. The airlock, this is the part of our boat that sends you smashing through one of the dead ship modules to dock and begin your work. It is represented by the red Joker card, which, if we go ahead and show you our main hands, that's this guy here. I know he's not red, but this deck of cards is a little bit special. The payday, aside from bit parts and treasures you can scavenge along the way, every ship has a payday on it somewhere. It will be represented by the black Joker card, and our goal is to get that payday for the big cred. It's not always possible. It's also possible to land your airlock on the payday and destroy it, at least until you buy a scanner upgrade, which we don't start with, so that's going to be fun. And then threats. Every ship in the belt has a potential threat nearby or already on board. Our job is to get the work done without drawing unwanted attention. Threats appear when you spend our last point of grit or as a consequence of prompts. The shipbreaker move is another horrifying thing we need to be careful of, because sometimes old ships break apart. Sometimes that happens when we're on them. We will roll and consult a deck plan to see where a ship will split. There's a spacewalk move, because sometimes we need to go across the boundaries of space in order to get to a different part of a ship, or occasionally to get back to our airlock if things really go bad. There's also a bank move, which is essentially our bank can extend credit, compound interest on our debt. They can do a couple of other things in between our trips. And there's a push mechanic as well. Whenever we uncover a red card, we can push the card. We might get something better, we might get something worse. How the cards are used. Across the hull is sometimes the shortest path. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong, Insano. The cards from a standard playing deck are used to build the ships we scavenge. Each card is a different module that we have to navigate. They're also used for the threats, the push, and the spacewalk oracles. The black Joker always represents the payday. The red Joker always represents our airlock. That's why the rest of the cards are there, by the way, because we do use the rest of the deck. It's not just the cards we lay out for the ship. There's Belter Creation. I'm going to skip over this because it's essentially picking someone. We have, for the purposes of this stream, picked for ourselves the Cowboy out here on the Raggedy Edge. Not everyone's a hardscrabble scavenger doing it because the world didn't leave them any option. Some folks are like us. We're doing it for the glory, the prestige, and the red-hot adrenaline thrill that only comes out of laughing at the empty wheeling of the stars. We have a wild soul, friends. We start with Grit 4, Gear 2, Load 2, the Lucky Break feature, which means we can roll twice for the ship break if it happens, and pick which one we want. And we also have Yeehaw, See You Space Cowboy. When we spacewalk, we only need to draw one red card to cross the gap. Get through to that in a bit. And there's a debt move as well, and that's pretty much it. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We also have our starting... where is it? I think it's going to be... Yeah, we have ship creation. We have our starting ship. Our starting... words. Our starting ship is the Killdeer. It is a solid entry point. It can mount three slot spares bank. It can have a utility scanner or robotic capture arm. It doesn't have a lot of cargo space, but that's okay. We have 10 cargo. It's worth 3 cred if we trade it in, and it cost us 1 debt, so you know. There's other ships we can upgrade to later, like the Jackdaw and the Albatross, but we're the Killdeer for now. Lands on payday, Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball begins to play. Ugh, no thank you. And I have no idea how this would play on a tarot deck, but I think that that's an incredible idea. Games that run on tarot decks are just as good as games that run on playing cards, I will say that. I really don't ever want to have to yeehaw the 5 of Swords. The mechanics, I'm going to skip over the bank mechanics until we need them. I'm going to skip to the paydays, specifically we'll start here. This is what we're after. When we encounter it, we roll a d6. And on a 6, we get to choose 3 of these things here, these highlighted things here that are true. On a 4 or a 5, we choose 2. On a 1 or a 3, the payday's already gone. And they're things like you don't need to spend a grit to remove the payday, you don't need to check gas, removing it won't cause the ship to come apart, you don't attract unwanted attention, you can transport the whole payday in one trip regardless of size, things like that. By default, a tier 1 bird is 4 load worth of payday, 6 load for tier 2, 8 load for tier 3, and we also have a handy little table for what is this thing. So maybe the payday is a, I'm just going to roll, maybe 464, maybe it's a plasma injector coil. Maybe that's our payday. We'll find out when we get in there. Wait, is this the hard space shipbreaker RPG? It might be. You never know. I genuinely don't know. I have not played hard space shipbreaker. I only know it from mimetically trolling my friends by calling it hard space hard, which they usually respond to with yeah, space is hard. Yes. Anyway, the airlock. When we have a load and we return to the airlock, we roll a d6 to figure out if we are able to stow what we've got and can get right back to work. Or if we encounter complications like breaking apart in our airlock, improvising a storage solution, taking time to do things, the airlock just tearing away from the ship, that's it, we're done. When we're in the airlock, you may take supply from your ship's spares bank if you have one without making the airlock move. It just works. Spacewalk, this is one of the mechanics that really does matter. I will have to remember hard, space hard. I mean, yeah, you should. It's important to know. When we spacewalk, that's when we go between 2 modules separated by a gap. It may be part of the original design or caused by the ship breaking apart. We check gas, as usual, when we get to the next module. But we roll a d6 first. On a 6, we're fine. On a 4 or a 5, we draw 1 card from our deck. On a 1 to 3, we draw 2. If we draw a red card or 2, we bridge the gap, but it's going to cost something. We use a resource. If we draw a red card and a black card, or 2 black cards, we spend a resource, but it's not enough, which is a failure, and we have to roll another d6 and draw more cards. Essentially, if we draw 3 black cards before we draw 3 red cards, by normal rules, we're shit out of luck. We just spin off into space. We have the Yeehaw. We only need 1 red card. That's our move. That's our special move for being a cowboy. We only need 1 red card before we get 3 black cards. So that's important to know. And then we've got some, this is our list of birds, this is our list of things that we're going to salvage. I'm going to just tell you now, to make things easy on me and to make things easy on us for our first time, I have already shuffled the cards and I've laid out the first bird that we're going to have, but essentially we determine the tier of a bird by rolling dice normally, and then we determine what kind of craft it is based on its class after we figure out the tier, and we shuffle the cards, a certain number of cards plus the joker. We're starting at tier 1, 10 cards. Here is our deck plan overview. Specifically, this is a key essentially. And down here we've got our first ship, which is the Civilian Station Hopper. This is the one we're going to start with. The Terran Civilian R-Series is a cheap, reliable vessel for getting between the stations that make up the core of Concordate territory. There are so many of these birds in the Dead Belt that if we're ever absorbed by the Whigs' back coreward, they'll probably put one on our flag. Wonderful. So this is the ship that we will be starting with. This is what it looks like. These dotted lines that you see here, there's red, there's yellow, there's blue. Those are the different breakpoints. Depending on a dice roll, that will change how we go. And then there's a bunch of other ships. Just going to scroll past the deck plans to pushing. So whenever we uncover a red card, which is salvage diamonds or supply heart, we may elect to push the card. When we do so, we draw the top card from our deck. If it's red, you have 2 additional load or the maximum supply without a roll. If it's black, we inch closer to running out of luck. We keep the black card handy. If we collect 2 black cards, our luck runs out as part of pushing. I believe, from what I've read of the rules so far, these are separate cards to our spacewalking cards. If we push our luck, if we push all of our luck clean over, we roll a d6, and it's either we end up with all barriers are impassable without a pass key, we can't spend grit on bad news modules, we have to reduce our gas by 1, the bird breaks apart, so on and so forth. And then we have threats. When we spend our last point of grit, or when a prompt tells us, we roll a d6 to generate a threat from the table below, and then roll d6 again to determine their starting position based on the deck plan. Now, potential threats are aliens, rival scavengers, rogue AI, murderous ghosts, merciless pirates, or a nanite swarm. We mark the threat's position with a token every time we transit a module before we check gas. We pull a card from the top of the unused deck, and the threat makes a move based on the suit of the card. They each have a page here that tells us exactly what they do on each of the things. I'm going to scroll past those, we will go back to them as we need them. And then we have our oracles. This is the list of all of the different things that happen. So if we draw a 9 of clubs, which is a barrier, it is an arcing wire. We don't touch anything if we can help it. That's a barrier. And we have a die roll that we have to make in order to... Can I delete that, please? There we go. A die roll to make to determine how we overcome the obstacle. So barrier is clubs, spades are bad news, like really bad news. We have salvage, which are diamonds, and we have hearts, which is supply. And then afterwards we can spend cred, but we can't spend cred right now, can we? No, we can't. So, those are the rules. Those are the rules as we have them. I'm going to go ahead and also open up our cheat sheet, because we do also have a cheat sheet. Mostly this will be for me to look at, but yeah, here we go. So we've got our setup, our scavenging. This will give us this is the main loop here is entering a module, choosing to spend glow, flipping the cards so that we can do the oracle and figure out what we do. And then we repeat steps 5 through 8 until we are ready or forced to take off, and then we have a rest period. So that's that. That's that, really. It's pretty cool. So smaller, more space scavenger-friendly space hulks now with 83% less aliens. I really hope so. I really hope there are less aliens. I really, really hope there are less aliens. That would be awesome if we could have not a lot of aliens. So, that all being said, how are we feeling, chat? Are we ready to suit up and head out into the belt so we can start our scavenging life, our brand new life away from home? You got this? No, we got this. It's you as much as me. By which I mean I will blame you and only you, chat, if things go terribly wrong. You and the dice. Okay. I think now is time to go. And we will start with, first of all, we've got here our thing of cards. We have our great big, I'm just going to try and make it a little bit brighter, if I can. Close enough. We do have our playing surface here. We have all of these outer modules here. We've got all of these things. This is our airlock. So, chat, first up, we need to decide where to put this thing. We need to decide where we are going to put our airlock. Go rustle some iron, yeehaw. I think we may as well start... I'm thinking we start at the top. I think we start at the top. What do you think, chat? I'm alive, Subpixel. Hi, Delta. Welcome to the stream. It's lovely to have you here. You're going to see me leaning off to the side a little bit more, by the way, because my playing surface is off here. So I do apologize for looking like I'm gone. Just the tip, I'm taking that as Insano saying, yes, we're starting at the top, so we're going to go ahead and crash land. Boom. Right there in the airlock. What could possibly go wrong? Who knows? So we set our airlock down on any one of the ship's modules to begin exploring. Really the important question, the really important question, is genuine question. Do we explore the module where the airlock comes in? I don't think we do. I think we do that right at the end. So I think we technically enter into a different module. Which cowboy did we send? Oh, which cowboy did we send? A cowboy. Spike Spiegel? The important question is, did you crush the payload? I guess technically we flip over that card. I can't see anything that says we don't, so I guess we flip over that card. And we see what's going on. Alright, it's clubs. It's clubs, so it's a barrier to start with. It's not the payload, though. Thank goodness for that. Let's head to our Oracle deck. The Six of Clubs. Graveless module. Feeling a little lighter? Gravless module, not graveless. Artificial grav's out in this bay, and everything here is on the drift. Makes for a puzzle. You can sling yourself through unless there's something dangerous floating around in there. So we make our first roll now. We roll a d6. And on a 6, we navigate the barrier. On a 4 or a 5, this way is blocked after we traverse the module. Or a 1 to 3, we're not going to make it. Return to the last module you've occupied and find another way. It's gonna suck if this becomes It's gonna suck if this isn't a 6 then. I feel like maybe that's not meant to be the case. I have to wonder if maybe we don't explore this module to start with. But I did check the rules, and I couldn't see anything that says otherwise. So let me just quickly go ahead and take a hot second to reread the rules, just to make absolutely sure. Ah, okay. I have in fact made a mistake already, straight away. So, what we do is we don't look at that card, and in order to signify me doing the rules properly, I'm going to go ahead and put that 6 of clubs back in the deck and reshuffle. And go ahead and just shame myself quietly for having already gotten something wrong. I did say we'd get something wrong. It always happens. I'd run it as the obstacle comes up on the way out for that last minute hole ride to safety. I probably would have too, except that I was able to find the rule. Because the book is well laid out. There's no mistakes, only homebrew. Well, that's one way of looking at things. But we've got a card here now. We're here. We need a marker for ourselves is what we need. Do I have any cowboy markers nearby? No, I don't. I have something that is going to make a friend of mine very, very happy for me to use later. But I will use that for the threat. I'm going to go ahead and show off a part of me. I happen to have this here fidget cube. That is officially going to be our token. That's us. That's us. That fidget cube there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to explore the next module. We're just going to go straight forward down the ship. We're going to open this card next and... So, I don't know if you can see what that is. Yo, shot glasses for tracking cowboy position seems baller. Yeah. That would be the case. Okay, so first of all, we're in this module. We have to check gas, so we need to not roll a 1 on this d6. We rolled a 1 on that d6, so we drop down a level of gas. Just like that, right on the money. But yeah, if you've missed it, we have just landed on the payload. Within minutes, we've gotten ourselves a payload. So now we go to the payload section of the rules, and we roll a d6. We roll a d6, friends. Hopefully this will work. Yinsano, you said nothing but 1s, and we've rolled 2 1s in a row. You're a monster. Awful, I hate it. 0 out of 10. On a 1, the payday we came for has already been stripped, broken beyond repair, or has become too unstable or dangerous to transport. And for what it's worth, it is a 6-4, a catalytic feed coil. But it's completely broken. It's completely broken. I blame you, Yin. I blame you, specifically you. You are the reason this has happened. Cool. Well, we can't go back with nothing, so we're just going to keep going through the ship, friends. As we enter the next module, we'll check for gas. That's a 3. Our current error range is 1 and 2, so we're fine on gas. We flip open the module and we see the 6 of spades. I don't like because spades are bad news. The 6 of spades is biometrics engage. Authorized user module just clicked on. That's going to make getting the doors to play nice and open up a little bit harder. Roll a d6. On a 6, we spoof some access credentials and we quiet it down. On a 4 or 5, movement is hampered and we have to check our gas. On a 1 or a 3, we roll 2 dice and take the lower when navigating barriers and bad news for the rest of the ship. I have no regrets, just this catalytic feed coil. Yeah, it's not great, guys. Okay, we really want a 6. Hey! That's a 6! That's not a 1. The curse is over. So we've spoofed ourselves some credentials and we're good to continue. I think we're going to check out this wing before we go anywhere else. Check gas. That's a 4. Our gas is fine. And we end up with the 8 of hearts, which I believe is supply. So the 8 of hearts is a familiar layout. When you turned that last corner, your mind couldn't help but put it all together, right? You know this bird. You've seen plenty like it. Buck up, you've got this. Grit. Because I believe that means that we roll a d6 and we either get 2, 1, or nothing of the supply. So hopefully, we roll another 6. We rolled a 3. This place has nothing for us, so we do not in fact get any grit back. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We move modules. We check gas. We're fine. We move modules. And we check gas. Oh, that's a 2. Okay, we've already gone through 2 gas. So now we fail on a 1, 2, or 3. But we're in the next module, which is the 4 of clubs. Which is not bad news, but it is a barrier. This probably would be easier with a printed copy. I might have to get myself a printed copy of this for the next time. Venting coolant. Blue Wonder. Keeps your reactor, engine manifolds, and sundry electrical components nice and chilly. The other side of that particular sword is that when it gets where it ought not, it'll freeze you solid. So we have to roll our d6, and we hopefully won't get a dead end here. Buck up, you've got this. You are a real cool cowboy now. I really hope so. I really hope so. That's a 5, and that means it's too risky to try more than once, but we tilt this at a 45. We can't go back this way, but we can get through. So we'll head to the tail. Or maybe that's the cockpit, who knows. We'll check our gas. Getting a 4, so we're fine. And we end up with the 2 of hearts. Love that, love that. We're getting places. We still haven't found any salvage. But the 2 of hearts is some evidence that this place was someone's home. Makes you think of your own. We have a chance to earn grit here, friends. This is definitely, in my mind, the cockpit then. We landed at the back of the ship and this is the cockpit, because the cockpit is absolutely where we, as space cowboys, feel right at home, yeah? So hopefully, with a 5, we gain 1 grit. Is good for us, because we can spend grit. I think this bird has been picked over. I think it may have been. Homely stuff steals the fuzzy dice. If that counted as loot, I absolutely would. Given it doesn't count as loot, I absolutely would. Please, no, chat. I'm adding it to our inventory. +1 fuzzy dice. We absolutely got it. No, we're not taking a photo of someone else's love interest, Ian. Absolutely not. Let's check gas, shall we? Okay, that's a 3. So now we error on a 1, 2, 3, or 4 for gas. We get more hearts, though. More hearts. That one's the 4 of hearts. Blown out computer. See, your standard scrounger looks at a busted console and sees lost profit, but you and me, we see a pile of solutions to inconvenient problems. We could earn ourselves some gear here, friends. Spoilers, it's just a mirror. Oh, you smooth motherfucker, Yinsano. You smooth motherfucker. How dare you? That is a 6. So we get 2 gear. We get 2 gear from the blown out computer. I love that for us. I love that for us so much. I think at this point we're going to start to spend gear to roll for prompts in future, especially for problematic prompts. Which unfortunately we can't use on gas. It'd be awesome if we could use that on gas. Someone did not wipe their hard drive. Oh yeah, we just stole a bunch of codes, specifically open source code for computers that are good. Let's go ahead on to our next one. We're going through this ship pretty well, guys, I would like to say. Let's check out gas. We need a 5 or a 6. That's a 5. We're good. We're good for gas. Another heart. The 6 of hearts this time. Bare air. They tell you not to keep an O2 canister at pressure long term, because cracks. This survival bottle is holding up all right. We have the option to reduce our gas requirement by 2. This could be really good. Genuinely, I'm gonna spend a gear right now. I'm gonna spend a gear to roll 2 dice and pick the highest. And if we don't succeed on either of them, I'm gonna spend grit to increase our gas, because that's gonna be important. We did get a 5 and a 2, so we do in fact get 1 gas back. So we're back to 50-50. 1, 2, or a 3 are our failure options on gas. And as we move on to the wing, let's go ahead and roll gas. Check gas. Getting a 5. More hearts. This ship has nothing for us. This is awful. 10 of hearts. Catch your breath. Take a minute, Belter. This job is demanding and is easy to get frazzled. The O2 will hold out for a minute, which surprisingly gives us a chance to earn grit. So let's go ahead and try and earn grit. It's a 5. We earn 1 grit. I don't know if we're capped on grit because of this thing here. I'm just going to quickly circle that, and I'm going to just check. Are there limits on how much grit we can have? Scroll up. Shipbreaker, bank, push, cards, payday, investments, cargo, cred, grit. I can't see anything that says that we have a max grit. Oop, just caught my hand up in that. Grit, 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 grit. No, I'm not seeing anything that says that we can't use those points. There is definitely a maximum grit. Oh, hang on, here we go. Okay, I think that is actually our maximum grit that we can increase with upgrades. So we do not get that grit. Unfortunate, but fair enough. Apologies for being a little bit slow there to check up on the rules, dear friends, but these things have got to happen. Is it just me, or have you just gotten heart since I said this empty bird? This bird empty? I think you have. You did curse us to find the payload instantly, that's true. All grit and memories, no limits for this koi poke. See you, space koi poke. Okay, I mean, we have a new name for this character. I did actually have some names for a cowboy, and I had settled on Ellen the Fool Fisher, which is a randomly generated name from fantasynamegenerators.com. But absolutely, their nickname is not the Fool. Their nickname is Koi Poke. So, thank you very much for that, chat. Love you dearly. Let's move into a module and check our gas. Another 5. Let's move into another module. Check out gas. Did not do well on that gas. Let's check out prompt. It's the 10 of clubs. The only diamonds in this entire thing is going to be the one we shoved our airlock through. 10 of clubs. So many bodies. That's rarely good. Triage, medbay, gunfight, plague, Something bad happened here. Watch your footing and keep an eye out. This place has ghosts. So we need to try and successfully navigate this barrier. Is it bad I kind of want to steal that name for the whaler? Yeah, you can if you want. Cue the alien and only because you reshuffled? Oof. That is a 5. So this module, like the last clubs we went through, becomes a dead end, but we can get through it. We check gas in the second to last module. 5 means we're good. That's the 10 of spades, which is bad news. Here they are. The entry was graveless, and here they all are. No money, no ganja. It'd all be replaced with corpses. Yeah. 10 of spades. 10 of spades. Picked over. You're not the first mouse in this house, Belter. Looks like someone's been shuffling through the cast-offs here, and they might have already claimed the juiciest morsels. Roll a d6. Amateurs, there's still plenty to be found. 4 and 5, the choice bits are still here. At least all additional salvage is half value. Or picked down to the bone. If you haven't found the payday yet, it's either missing or junked. No catalytic feed coil, no money, just a pile of corpses. And if we don't get a 6 on this, if we get salvage on the airlock, which we already can't use because it's destroyed, it's a 5. So we check gas. We're fine on gas. So out of curiosity, because there's not a single diamond on that bird, as we get in our airlock and leave, which I think, do we have to make a move for that? I don't believe so. We make the airlock move to convert load to cargo. Yeah, we don't convert anything. We get in our ship, and we leave behind... It's okay, it was just another heart that was trashed. Cool, so our first bird sucked, and it's probably because, Yin cursed us. It's the only option. That ship, unfortunately, was a net loss for us at the end of the day. Go ahead and let's pick up all these cards. Grab that joker, leave it there. Grab our deck. So how are we doing, chat? How are you enjoying Hard Space Hard? Because I'm enjoying it immensely. The fuzzy dice will bless our future. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. We convert our stored cargo to cred. That didn't really work very well. I just got here. Hello, dumbass Sapphic. You are just in time to notice that we sucked. We found a ship with nothing on it. And now we have to return home. Okay. We went through the first ship and only got a pair of fuzzy dice and a pile of corpses. Yeah. You've just turned this blessing into a curse. Good job. Delta, don't say that. I'm sure Yinsano is fine. I'm sure Yinsano hasn't cursed us any further. Hopefully. Emergency food? Well. So the next thing that we have to do, dear friends, is we need to do our bank move. Where is our bank? Where are the rules for the bank move? Here we go. The bank makes a bank move roll. Depending on the outcome, nothing changes. Yada 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 yada. That's payday stuff. Where is the bank move? Is it right down the end? Spend cred. No. I am really, really missing physical media for things like this. I think if I had a physical copy of this book, it would be so much easier. Push ships. Alone. How to play. Bank move. Here we go. Let's look it up. Boxcars for days. As long as the rules for mortgaging your spaceship are simpler than Traveller 5e, I'm in. Our ship has a trade-in value, and basically we get forced to trade in at the end if we suck enough. Inch-thick load-bearing Tomb of Rules, that was. Oofed. Traveller, I'm assuming? Okay. Okay, so we have only 3 debt at this point. So hopefully everything is fine. So we need to roll a d6. On a 1, on a roll of 1, the bank compounds interest and we accrue another point of debt. On a 2 or a 4, nothing happens. On a 5 or a 6, they extend 9 creds worth of credit in exchange for a point of debt. If it doesn't have calculus, is it really a Traveller game? Well, there's no calculus in this that I'm aware of. Let's roll our bank move. That's a 1. We're really racking up the debt now. Oofed. Oh yeah. Cool. So, I guess the next thing for us to do is to generate another ship. So, first of all, let's determine the tier of our ship. On a 1 through 4, it's tier 1. On a 5, it's tier 2. On a 6, it's tier 3. Yin, middle name Sano. Yin, middle name Sano, and your curse. I'm actually okay with it only being a tier 1 ship, but also how dare you? You gotta get ahead of the bank. I'm really trying. Okay, so it's a tier 1. We roll a d6 for civilian, merchant, or military ship. 1 through 3 civilian, 4, 5 merchant, 5, 6 military. Okay, it's a tier 1 military vessel. A tier 1 military vessel. Light militia patrol craft. Okay, cool. So what I get to do, I'm going to shuffle the whole deck of cards. Mil-spec trash pile. Don't worry, if we won't have to pay off the debt if we asphyxiate in a pile of space trash. Yeah. I'm really, really hoping that this is going to be good. The Scoop is a scout and reconnaissance vehicle often repurposed for general patrol and peacekeeping endeavors. Eventually, their last patrol takes them out this way. These birds have seen some things, so step with care. So, we need 10 cards plus the Joker. So, that's the Joker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. That's not those 10. 10 cards plus the Joker for our ship layout. Look at those weapons, so full of peacekeeping. I mean, this thing kinda looks like it, the way it's laid out, it kinda ends up looking like a Millennium Falcon, which I nearly described just now on stream in a sci-fi space cowboy game as the Millennium Puzzle, because I am corrupted by the internet. But, that said, shuffled cards. Let's lay these things out. I'm gonna unplug, come over here. Just checking I haven't gone off the edge of the screen. You do actually need 5th card there. That. Oop. Going off a little bit. Like that. Oh, no, these are meant to be in the middle. And one down there. Okay. The gut of the cards, it influences in strange ways. So that's our ship. That's our ship there. I'll take this big spare deck. I'm going to keep it aside. That's our new ship. Chat, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, my dear fellow fine friends, would somebody like to decide for us? I'm going to say we've got 3 good choices. We can either go in one of the 2 tips, so one of these 2 here, or we can start down the back and work our way forward. How are we feeling about where we're going to shove our airlock first up? I say go between the 2 tips. So you want us to come here? This middle card here? Right up the middle? The tip or the back entry, such choices. Hardy har har, this is a game for Space Cowboys. I understand that has resulted in some interesting choices. I'm going to go ahead and say that right up the middle and between the 2 tips means that we're going to be whacking our airlock right here, which does give us like 3 different options to start exploring. So starting in the airlock, left, right, or down is the next question. How are we feeling, chat? Got my dice here, right on the payload. Yin, you say we're right on the payload. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. You know what? Actually, yeah, right up the middle. We're gonna go straight down into this one. Let's restart. We're gonna reset our gas. Just like that. So let's, like a brave fidget cube koi poke. Oh, you know it. First of all, let's check for gas. We got a 6. We're fine on that front. And the first thing that we've walked into is the... Oh my goodness, a diamond! I feel like I'm playing Minecraft. Diamonds! That's a Minecraft thing, right? Excellent. We have, finally, some good news. I just opened OneNote on my computer for some reason. That's not what I meant to do. Dead Belt, Oracle, Diamonds. What do we end up having? It is the 8 of Diamonds, which is connectors and fittings. You know most of the fittings that make these old birds fly are gold and platinum, right? Load 2. So hopefully... Oh, no. We find salvage, that's it. That's awesome. Our load capacity is 2 for this cowpoke, this koi poke rather. So we do have to immediately go back to the airlock with our load 2. And we need to hopefully... Oop. That was a bit weird. Hopefully, we'll just put it straight into the airlock. What is our airlock move? Where is it? So I know we have to roll dice for the airlock. Yeah. So we roll a d6, like everything else. On a 6, we get to stow what we've got and we get straight back to work. On a 4 or a 5, we choose a couple of options. On a 1 or a 3, we choose 2 options from a list of setbacks. Mil-spec trash pile, let's go! That's a 6. Excellent. So we have just straight up, we have converted 2 load to 2 cargo. Which we're going to fill in on our sheet. That's our cargo there. That's our ship there. And we can move right along. So we'll head back there, we'll roll our gas. We rolled a 2, so we're fine on gas. I heard right down the middle, so we are actually going to go all the way to the back. Potentially ill-advised move here. Roll our gas. We rolled a 6. We're fine on that front. 5 of spades. Spades are bad news. Active sensor ring. Feel it in your fillings just now? Someone out there just did a tight beam sweep. Wager they know you're here now. Roll a d6. On a 6, they were just passing through. On a 4 or 5, a vulture gang demands their cut. Your upkeep goes up by 1 on this trip. 1 to 3, rightful salvage holders confiscate your take, lose all cargo. We're going to be spending grit if we don't roll a 4 or higher. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, we're going to spend a point of grit on that one so that we end up with the 4 or 5. Oh, we totally forgot our upkeep, by the way, for last time around. Forgot about our upkeep. We didn't have any creds to spend, though, so I'm going to go ahead and say that that sucks. I'm going to figure that out later, but our upkeep definitely just went up to 2 for this trip. I'll figure out our upkeep later. So that sucks. We gotta pay them their share, but hey, they're letting us continue. That's fine. That's fine by me. Move back up to the main ship. Roll gas. Move to the left. Roll gas and not do very good. That's our first gas failure. Error range 1 to 2 now, and our next module is another diamond, friends. The 4 of diamonds. Nothing parts. Plenty of unsexy bits and pieces keep a bird like this in the air. Mound enough of them together and you got a tidy profit. Load 1. So we've got our first load currently we've got 1 thing with us. We love that. Let's keep moving. Let's go ahead and roll our gas. We're fine on gas. 4 of clubs. That's an obstacle. Not bad news, just not great. The 4 of clubs is venting coolant once again. It will freeze us solid, so we need to roll a d6. I think we found where all the diamonds went. Yeah, apparently so. So we roll a d6 where we desperately want to get at least a 6. That's a 6. That's a 6. We get through. Excellent. Wonderful. 10 out of 10. Let's head back the other way. Roll for gas. Go ahead and fail on that gas. Don't like that. Go ahead, keep moving. Roll for gas. Our error range is now 1 to 4 on gas. Don't like that. Roll for gas, roll for gas, roll for gas again. We're fine for gas on that one. Oh, it's the Queen of Spades. That's gonna be a problem. I imagine queens are worse somehow. Thrusters fire. There's a telltale hum that goes through a bird when she's about to try and shake you off. Feel it through your boots, Belter. Grab something solid. We might be going for a ride now. Heck. Roll a d6. On a 6, we are already braced. On a 4 or a 5, we spend a grit or check gas. On a 1 through a 3, we should regain consciousness in a bit. Ooh. The 1 to 3 option is raise your gas by 1 and then check gas twice. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're spending grit and getting the 4 to 5, which is we have to spend a grit or check gas. And I'm going to go ahead and say we just spend another grit. We just go ahead and we spend 2 grit. Because that way we live, hopefully. We're on a 1 to 4 failure for gas already, is the thing. And we've got a lot of space to go before we... I think we're gonna check out the wing. I think we're gonna check out... We're gonna go to the rest of the wing. So much grit, good thing that the last bird gave you such memories and grit. Yeah, the fuzzy dice, they're clenched in hand right now, I'll tell you that. Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Check gas. Oh no. We're on a 1 to 5 error range. Gas. 2 of hearts. Oh god, is hearts air? No, it's not. Some evidence that this place was someone else's home makes you think of your own. It's another set of fuzzy dice. Another set of fuzzy dice. With a 3... look, this is just going to give us grit. I'm not going to spend grit to get grit, so no, we're good. Okay. I don't know if we can make it back to the airlock, fam. I don't know if we can make it back to the airlock. I think we really need... Oh, wait, no, right, we can spend gear. Right, we can spend gear and roll another dice and pick the one that we want. Oop, oh god. I just dropped one of the dice. I just found one of the dice. Oh, it's a 5 and a 3. So pretty much we need to roll we need to roll a 6 now. I think that's how that works. Oh no, it Friends, I regret to inform you, but I have just done a cursory glance at the rules. And technically, the moment we leave our current module, we die. The moment we leave our current module, we run out of gas because we roll the dice, and we don't make it back to our airlock. That's really unfortunate. That's really very unfortunate. We made it an hour and 18 minutes into this stream before we had a Space Cowboy die, but this is the end of Fidget Cube Koi Poke. Can I get some Fs in the chat, everybody? I think this is a very unfortunate time. See you, Space Koi Poke. Ugh, really unfortunate. I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan of the... I mean, not a huge fan of the losing because I don't like losing, but not a huge fan of the fact that the one time we actually managed to find diamonds, that's when we actually have problems. Oh, well. I mean, I suppose in good news, this means that we as a team can make a new cowboy. So, I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up these cards just a little bit, and then I'm going to put them down. On that note, I think I no longer kind of want to use that name for Croco Man. It's a curse name now, I understand. I understand. Croco Man, for those who aren't already aware, is Delta Waves' 10-foot-tall lizard folk character in a fantasy craft game that we both play in. We had our first session of that last night. Alright, so these cards are now well and truly shuffled. going to go ahead and take this character sheet, bring it over to in front of me. We're going to go ahead and erase a bunch of things, and as a team, we can go ahead and make ourselves a new character. We just first erase off our character information here. So we always start with 1 upkeep. You don't have any of that gear, which is unfortunate. I'm going to rub off the fuzzy dice. Rest in peace. Of all that gas, all that grit, all that gear, all that load. And we will start again as a team, as a space team. We are the new Space Force. Okay. So these are the different options that we have for our Cowboys. We have the Vet, who is never going to be able to just go home again. So this is essentially a war veteran character. They can spend gear when they would fail an obstacle roll and can choose to succeed instead. With brute force and ignorance. And they can also do more with less. So when they find a gear supply, they can roll 2 dice and take the better result to acquire it. The Cowboy we've already played. We had Lucky Break and Yeehaw. We've got the Void Rat. Bigger belters miss all the best shortcuts and getaways. When you scurry through the vents and access corridors, roll a d6. You appear in the corresponding threat start area. You may use this move when a threat is generated, even if it is generated in your module. So basically it's a getting away from danger thing. As well as we start with 2 glow, so we can actually use that flashlight that we have. Find someone with extra gas. There is no extra gas. Everyone has the same gas. We have the Scoundrel. You've got a reputation, Scoundrel, and depending on who's telling the tale, it may be an unlovely one. Their special features include just get it to limping. When we pay upkeep, we roll a dice. On a 1 to 3, we pay as normal. On a 4 or 5, we pay less. They also have can't help but laugh. Whenever you find supply but fail your roll, you gain grit. They do start with more debt, I believe. Their starting debt is 3. And then we have the Slicer, whose special features are I can fix this, give me a second. Spend gear when you would fail a bad news roll and choose to succeed. And Cannibalize, when we're in the airlock, we can always refill 1 gear. So those are our 5. I have 1 vote so far for Voidy Ratty. One day someone will find the remains of Fidget Cube Koi Poke and wonder, why is this salvage tech holding 2 pairs of fuzzy dice? Yeah, absolutely. I'm hearing Void Rat. I'm hearing Void Rat. Does anyone have any opposing or dissenting views on what kind of Space Cowboy we should play next? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds because lag is a thing. While I do so, I'm going to casually check my phone. Specifically checking my phone and checking my TikTok, which I have, by the way. You can follow me there. Pixel ADM. Sounds good. Maybe the real emergency meat was the Void Rats we found along the way. How does glow work again? So we can use glow, and potentially our previous Cowboy should have. We can use glow to discharge the batteries on our flashlight and see what's in the next module before we go there. So we can see what's there and choose to go or not. Is theoretically how that works. Oh no, I've done the gamer move of dripping condensation on my character sheet. It's a real gamer move, Pixel, well done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the Void Rat, who starts with, it appears, 3 grit, as well as 3 gear, a load of 2. We start with 2 glow. We start with 2 debt. And we have an aspiration to get out of here. And we have the Doot. Vent rat. Move. And we have the spare light, which we already have. Wonderful. And then I think I just want to double check the ship. I think we start with an extra debt for the ship. We do. So we start off with 3 debt in the end. Wonderful. Wonderful. Drinker, I'll set yin on you. Oh, you have in fact redeemed Hydrate 100. I do apologize there, my good Delta Waves. You have in fact done a redeem while I was looking down. Glorious water. If only we had water in space. That would be nice. Find all the bodies. Well, then we got some loot. Pass your eyeballs over the tip. Scan that tip with your glow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's all coming together now. All coming together now. Ah, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's go ahead and just mark that hydration request as complete. And then, I suppose, the next thing for us to do is to find ourselves a new bird for our new cowboy. Go ahead and roll for the tier. Roll the 3, so it's just a tier 1 vessel. And it's going to be a civilian tier 1 vessel, which is tier 1 civilian station hopper. That's the merchant class, that's the military class, that's tier 2. So it's a familiar ship. Hopefully it's not the same ship, because that would be awful. But this is the layout that we go for. I also just want to very quickly double check the bird breaks apart when we push our luck. I'm just checking to make sure that I know when the ship breaks. Yeah, the ship breaks on certain prompts. That's what I needed to know. Yeah, let's go back up to that bird. This bird here. So, you know, I think I shuffled the Joker into the deck because I'm a very clever individual. I'm going to have to find that for a second. I keep telling people that I'm very clever and they keep believing me, which is something, you know, kind of awful. There we go. 1 Joker. Boom. Let's go ahead and move on over to our big view so you can see I've put that Joker down. Wait, elongated void rat, I gotta shitpost some thoughts. Okay. Hopefully not the same. You already saw the fuzzy dice and the catalytic feed coil was trashed. I really hope it is a different bird. It does say that they were cheap, reliable vessels for getting between the stations, and there are so many of them that they'd probably put them on a flag if we ever got absorbed by the Wigs back forward. So hopefully there's just a trillion of these, and we'll be fine. Go ahead and shuffle these dice. You are clever, but we are all victims of physics. I like that line, Yin. I'm going to use that line in an upcoming Eclipse Phase game or something, I think. Okay, so we need 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big deck goes here. Joker goes in here. Let's go ahead and give these a nice shuffle. And as we are, in fact, all victims of physics, truly physics is oppressing us all, preventing us from living our best lives. I too would like to be allowed to float endlessly into the void of space, but in a cathartic way rather than a nihilistic way. I'm gonna go ahead and let's lay out this ship. Start with the tip. Move on. Another layer here. Get those two, and then those two. Okay. Okay, dear wonderful viewers. We have ourselves a couple of different points of ingress. We have ourselves an airlock. Where are we going to crash into this time around? A funky upside down man. You know what? I can't unsee that. You monsters. Insano says, I'm thinking wing it. Does anyone have any dissenting opinions? I don't know if we have any dissenting opinions. Left or right? First person to say left or right, you decide the wing that we go on. Wing the funky man. Labard, that's not a left or right, but lag exists. Oop! I nearly dropped it. Left or right? First person, let's go. Right, okay. Boom. There we go. We can't use a fidget cube because that was a Space Cowboy fidget cube koi poke. I'm gonna need another token. Do I have anything that isn't actually a token nearby? Do I have a little rat person? You know what, chat? I think I might have... Insano, I'm really sorry, but I don't... Insano, one moment. Insano, you may not have known this before now. And chat, you may not have known this before now. But before we continue into the ship, I need to just quickly bring us back to a nice big face cam view. So you can see, you can bear witness to the only shot glass I own. It is plastic. It is a shot glass with a D6 in the base. And you are meant to, objectively, have these, roll the dice, slam it down, and whatever number on top is the number of shots you're meant to drink. This is the shot glass that I have. Bear witness. This is a dice and a counter at the same time. And just for you, Yinsano, our current Void Rat Space Cowboy Belter is now officially an alcoholic. Clicky clicky math rocks. Yeah, that rolled a 6. I don't know if you can see that, but that rolled a 6. So anyway, that is us. Let us move into the first module. We will first roll for gas. We rolled a 2, so we're fine on gas. We do have the Queen of Clubs as our first module though, and that's never fun. Wait, Space Cowboy Delta? Ooh, could be Space Cowboy U. It's cheap, it's impractical, and it's perfect for this Void Rat, who I shall call Bear Witness. Oh, I love you so much right now, Yinsana. You have no idea. Queen of Clubs is a barrier. What kind of barrier are you, my lady? Hazardous cargo. That's a lot of warning signs. High explosive, caustic, corrosive, biohazard. I don't even know what that one is, but it's got a lot of skulls on it. Mind you don't jostle anything. Yikes. So we need to roll a d6. We successfully navigate the barrier and move on. It's too risky to try more than once. Friends, I really don't want to dead end our way in this module. If this module dead ends, we have to do a spacewalk to get back to the airlock. Those skulls mean cred signs to me. It means welding vapors. Look, carcinogens are a good time. I love you so much, chat. Have I mentioned that? Wait, no, hang on. Hold on a second. Chat, you know what? Just to demonstrate how much I love you, I think Twitch might actually let me gift a sub in my own chat. And if this somehow works, I'm just gonna gift a sub to a random follower Just so I can say that I have, because I love you so much. And also Twitch you shouldn't be allowed to do this. But here we go. I have gifted a tier 1 sub to Sol Solaris, who I don't even think is here right now. Congratulations, Sol Solaris. Thank you very much for being the recipient of a gift sub. This is money laundering, Twitch. What the fuck? I'm so happy that that's my first ever sub on the channel as well. I am my own best gifted sub. 10 out of 10. Daddy Bezos, you monster. So yeah, anyway, what I was trying to say is I'm going to spend I'm going to spend some gear, I think, on this roll, so hopefully we have a better chance at getting a 6. So let's go ahead, let's mark off some gear. Make that money shine, get cleaning. Look, if anyone else wants to subscribe or gift a subscription at this point, just go nuts. I've just realized how little I care. But 2d6, we're aiming for a 6. And we got 2 5s. We got 2 5s. That's not a lot. That's not what I was aiming for. It was really not what I was aiming for. Okay. Look, unfortunate, but fair. This is now a dead end, and we can move beyond it. And we will, but we're gonna have to airlock move on our way out. And I don't like that. I'm gonna move us up. I'm making an executive decision. Sol Solaris can totally have that as a birthday gift. Birthday gift? Is it Sol Solaris' birthday? Is that Sol Solaris' birthday? Is that what I'm hearing? Just passed? Aw, I feel bad for having missed out. Happy birthday to the 2 days ago. Happy belated birthday to Sol Solaris. Enjoy that gift subscription to a channel you may not even have remembered you follow. But no, genuinely, happy birthday. I'm gonna have to remember to pass that on to Sol after stream. I'm gonna have to actually say happy birthday. Because I can't believe I missed it. Can't believe I missed it. Anyway, we're rolling gas. We just need to roll above a 1. That's a 2. That's above a 1. We go ahead and we explore. The 8 of clubs. We've got 2 barriers so far in one ship. This is not going very well. The 8 of clubs is a flooded module. Hydro pipes must have sprung a hell of a leak. Either that or they were using this bay as an aquarium. Open with care. And once again, we need to roll to hopefully move beyond. With the d6, hopefully we're rolling a 6. I'm not going to spend gear preemptively this time. We get another 5. That's 2 barriers. Now, I'm going to move on. I think this may just be a junk pile that ended up looking like a ship. I really hope not. That would be awful. That would be terrible. That's a 6 on our gas, so we're good on gas, but that's another club. You're right, Labard. I did ask for water in space. I really did. Gotta love flooded pipes adjacent to your chem hazards. Good combo. Look, we've got the lady and the king of clubs. This is wonderful. By which I mean terrible. Open to space. Big chunk of this bay is just gone. Fell off, I expect. Drifted away, and now you get to drift across. Don't you drift away now. Spacewalk, and then remove the card from the deck plan. So we have to spacewalk right now. We have to spacewalk, which is... Have we got the spacewalk move on our cheat sheet? The spacewalk is not on the cheat sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick search in the PDF for spacewalk. Because there are specific rules for it. Okay. Bonus points if the entire ship ends up as clubs and or missing. Look, there's 10 cards in a 52 card deck. The odds of that are astronomical. But we are in space. Like, at least you have a way back to your ship. Yeah, but now I have to go so far back around the ship. Oh. That would be atrocious if that actually happened. Cool. Cool. So we need to spacewalk. So I have to roll a d6. On a 6, we do fine. On a 4 or a 5, we draw 1 card. On a 1 or a 3, we draw 2. Okay, that's a 3. So we need to draw 2 cards from our deck here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shuffle. If we draw a red card, because we're drawing 2 cards, we have to draw 2 red cards. If we draw 2 red cards, we're fine. It costs us a resource, but we get across. If we draw any black card, we fail and have to roll again. Don't worry, red cards are good and there are plenty left in the deck, so many in the deck. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, that's a red card. Okay, that's 2 red cards. So we spend a resource. I'm going to say that, grit gear or check gas. Let's say grit. We'll use our determination to get across. But we end up in the next module, and this card just disappears off into space. So I hate that. We got to check gas because we're in a new module. That's always the case. It always ends up the case. We still rolled above a 1, so we're going good. And then we check what's in... Diamonds, friends. Diamonds. It's all gonna be worth it in the end. We have the 9 of diamonds, which is harmless contraband. You know, if the Concordat just went ahead and legalized this stuff, they'd make a mint. But then smugglers wouldn't make theirs. Their loss, I guess. This is load 2. Load 2. So we are currently full. We have load 2 and we've got both of them. So right now, in order to keep salvaging this ship, we need to unload at the airlock and then come back. And the only way to do that is to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules and then make another spacewalk. You found the nuke. You got the drug. Funky Man lost a foot. Oh, right, the upside down Funky Man. I gotcha. I'm with you now. Yikes. Yikes on bikes. Okay, look, that's fine. It's fine. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. Friends, we're going to be just fine. We move into the next... We roll our gas. We finally rolled a 1 on gas. This is where it starts to unravel around us. That's okay. It's not doing too badly. We've got the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is supply. H2O cracker. This was her beating heart belter, or the crew's anyhow. Cracking water into O2 and fuel. Plug in and breathe deep. We can get gas back by rolling a dice. We rolled a 6. We gained 2 gas, which brings us back down to the minimum, which I believe is 1. So, it's a nice breath of fresh air. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and move into the next module. These civilian ships are usually made to high standards. High standards? Well, the foot doesn't fall off for one thing. Oh, how do you know this one wasn't built to high standards? Well, the foot fell off. Did I roll that gas just now? I didn't. I've got to roll a gas move. That's what I'm doing. 6. Perfect. So we're still fine. This next is the 6 of Hearts, which is spare air. It's more spare gas. I'm gonna roll just to see. 6? Okay, well, I mean, we would have gotten our gas back if we had screwed up there anyway. Because that was just another lot of O2. All the air, all the water, they got a nice coat of beige-ass paint. Friends, I think what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our glow. We're going to use one of our glow right now. And we're going to look at the other wing. Rather than continuing this way to go back to the airlock, we're going to see what this is. We're going to take a peek. Ooh. Ooh, I'm glad we didn't go there. I'm glad we used glow, because the ace of spades, as it turns out, is... One, it's bad news, but specifically, it's an imminent hull breach. Where it's possible to just be sucked into the void forever. So thank goodness we decided to use some glow. Don't want to catch that hand. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll move into the next module instead. Just go ahead and make a quick gas check. That's a 2, we're fine. And what we end up with in here is the Queen of Diamonds, which is not something we can pick up right now, but it's nice to know it's there. Specifically, it's flash parts. That's got to be aftermarket, don't you think? You even seen an XL320 before? Flash, flash, flash. Load 6. Are you peeking at its imminent holes? No, I'm not peeking at its imminent holes. This is a load 6 thing here. This is where we are right now. This is load 6. So if we... It would take us 3 trips to go back and forth, but that's spacewalks. Because we can't go back through the Queen. That's 3 space. It's there. 1, 2. That's 3 extra spacewalks. I'm gonna steal all this if you have to make 3 trips. I believe we can. I believe we can do multiple trips. Otherwise, it would be useless to have this many diamonds in a thing. So I guess theoretically, given our gas is really, really good right now. Given that our gas is phenomenal right now, actually, all things considered, we might be able to come back and do a couple of trips. That's how Void Rats die, but sure. Gang, I'm going to ask a question. Who thinks that we should use our second glow, which we get back up during the upkeep, to check out the tip before we go into the next one? So I'm thinking we be nice to ourselves. We take it easy. You know? I'm thinking we do a good thing. What do we think? What do you think? But peek the tip, always love a pair of tips. The life of a Void Rat is a precarious one. I've got 2 people saying that we take a peek, so we're going to go ahead and bend that glow. And once again, turn our flashlight into a lightsaber and take a peek at the next module, which is the Jack of Diamonds. Yikes. And the reason I say yikes is because the hard cred and plenty of it, straight up this is just money in here. But also because it means that if the next card isn't a Joker, then we landed on the payday and we screwed up big time. Alright. Let's move over. Let's roll gas. Gas, gas, gas. We're fine on the gas. Oh! The payday's under the Joker, isn't it? If it's not under the Joker, I've somehow misshuffled things. It was my fault, my bad, Libard. Let's scroll. I'm scrolling up through the chat. Who said right? Libard said right, Yinsano said left, Dumbass Sapphic said left, but I saw right and went with it because right got in first. Labard, I hate to say it, but this is actually your fault. Because right underneath our Joker is the payload Joker. Ugh. Hate that for us so much. Right in the payload. I have no idea how you can make this up to me, Labard. You're gonna have to do something. The 6 of diamonds, by the way, is survival gear, hostile weather gear, exposure shelter, tools of every kind. So, at least we've got a lot of other loot. But now I have to make a spacewalk to take our first 2 load back. So we're right in the middle there. We gotta roll a dice. Hope for a 6. We got a 2. Which... Oop, let's not type in chat, shall we? Let's, go ahead and, check the spacewalk move again. So we have to draw 2 cards. And we're aiming for 2 red. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, so we have to spend a resource, but it's not enough. I'm going to spend a gear. Oh, and now we have to roll another d6. And we need to get a 4 or a 5 or a 6 right now. A roll of a 1, 2, or a 3 means we have to draw 2 red cards. That's a 5. It's a 5. We just have to draw 1 red card. It's red! I drew it up to the camera. It's red. Oh, okay. Woo! Woo! Okay. Alright. So we make it to our airlock. Just like that. And we do our airlock move now, which is another d6. Hopefully we roll a 6, because that'd just be nice. It's a 3. So we have to pick 2 options from this list. One of the nothing parts in our airlock burns out. It'll take a cred to fix, raise upkeep by 1. Spend a gear to improvise a storage solution, check your gas, or be done for the day. So we have to pick 2. So I'm going to raise our upkeep by 1 for a nothing part to get broken. And I'm going to say that we check our gas because it takes us time, because we do still currently have plenty of gas. And a 2 is still above a 1, so we're good. And now we have to decide, do we go back? I'm going to be... There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red cards there. There's 9 red cards out of the deck already. So there's definitely more black than red in this deck. There's definitely more red in this deck than black. I've just looked at the bottom card by accident. I'm gonna shuffle this. Fuck me. Would a Void Rat stop after 1? No, you're right, Yinsano. A drunk Void Rat in particular would not stop after 1. So much loot, but Void Rat. We're gonna go... because the next module we can actually go to is a loot one, I say we're gonna do the space. We're gonna do a thing. Void Rats only feel hubris. I know it says hubris. Void Rats only feel hubris. Okay, well in that case, it's our own hubris it is. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a dice for an airlock, not for an airlock move, for a spacewalk. We rolled a 3. So we do need to draw 2 cards. That's black. That's black. So we spend a resource. I'm going to say we spend our last grit. And we roll again. We have to draw 2 more cards. If either of these are black, we're done. Either of these are black, we're done. So, the hubris, the sheer hubris of the shot glass void rat sends us off into space, never to be seen or heard from again. And our second cowboy perishes in the belt. I tell you what though, I'm having a lot of fun killing these cowboys. Big yikes, can I get some Fs in the chat for our shot glass friend? They did their best. Well, they tried to do their best. Just some big Fs in the chat. F for bear witness the void rat. Yep, that's really how it is. That is how it is. F for bear shot glass witness. You know, it is nice that we have this, it is nice that we have this community where we can all both name and shame and kill cowboys, just like that. So with that, we're gonna have to pick yet another cowboy, as a group. So we're gonna go back up to our cowboy list. So far we've played the Void Rat and the Cowboy. So if we want to be different, we can play the Veteran, the War Veteran, the Scoundrel, or the Slicer. As I move this over here, let me move some things around and actually go off and show you. Yeah, so this is the first one. This is the Vet. This is a great game. So much death. It is a great game. This is like when earlier someone mentioned your camera is doing weird autofocus on the desk cam. Yeah, that's why I've switched back over to the PDF for now anyway. Bear the Rat is such a powerful body type to imagine. The Vet for max PTSD, new and interesting adventures. New and interesting adventurers. Yeah, this game is phenomenal. We've now this is my first time playing it, by the way. To make it clear for chat. I bought this game a few days ago. Itch will actually tell me exactly how many days ago. 8 days ago. So 8 days ago I purchased this game on itch.io, and once again I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and drop the link into chat, just because I really do encourage people to play this yourself. Like, play it with me. I love doing this with you. But feel free to play it yourself. Tell me if you're able to do better than we can together. I want to hear your stories of your trips out to the Dead Bell. Yeah, so far I've got a suggestion for the Vet for max PTSD for our next character, by the way. And yeah, this is my first time playing. And I'm having so much fun. Like, I definitely think that I'm going to end up playing this again on stream next week, just because I'm really enjoying myself. So I've shuffled these cards. I think, with no one objecting, we're going to go ahead and say we're going to roll up a Vet. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the Vet details on the character sheet now. We start off with 3 grit, 1 gear, only 1 gear. We got our 1 glow, and we have load 4. So hopefully if we get another diamond-rich ship, we won't have to be tempted to go back multiple times, because we'll be able to grab a whole bunch. And our starting debt is only 1, which means that we start off with only 2 debt, which is actually really nice. Let's go ahead and drop that down there. Gonna keep shuffling this deck of cards. We have a Veteran. Let's go ahead and move on to the ship generation. Here we go. We've got our list of birds. And hopefully we're gonna be able to switch back to the desk cam, and it won't be doing its weird focus thing anymore because it's got some text to focus on. Grab. That's our airlock joker. This is our gimme a 6. So Yin, you're desperately hoping we get a tier 3 ship up next. That's going to be a big bird. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit the big bird on the screen all at once. Don't shuffle the joker. I haven't. The joker's right here. Right here. It's still here. I'm just not putting it down with the other joker to keep you on your toes. Sorry, I just really want to shuffle these cards up nice and good. Okay, so let's roll a d6 for the bird tier. The dice gods have listened to Yinsano, and we have been gifted with a tier 3 vessel, which is going to be a real big motherfucker. And the type of bird it is... That's a 2, so it's a merchant vessel. So it's a tier 3 merchant vessel. Which means we're going to go past 1, 2, 3 tier 1s, tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, tier 3 civilian, tier 3 heavy freight hauler. Designation merchant class DM D41R dromedary. The deep space mercantile R-type is a venerable dinosaur that built the Concordat, one cavernous bayful at a time. It's like the camel, but it's got a couple of extra humps. The cargo clamps have gotten bigger, but not better. Such a gift. Remember the flashlight. We will need to do some flashlighting. Oh yeah, shipping container ship. Oh yeah. Space Hulk idiots. This layout, by the way. I'll quickly show you. This is the layout that I now have to try and make fit on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of cards. None of them are sideways. This is going to be very interesting. Not that one, this one. Okay, let's get going. Let's see if Pixel can fit this many rows right on the thing. Starting off with... Wait, no, I have to actually deal them out. I nearly forgot. I nearly just started dealing off the deck. We need how many cards? 17. Here's what we'll do. Joker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 17. 17 cards plus the Joker. We can go over here. Come back and sit down, and we'll shuffle these ones now. It's the gift that keeps ever given. No, this is not a canal blocking ship. Hopefully, damn it, Ian, make me snort my hot chocky. Not the hot. I'm with dumbass on this one. Not the hot chocky. I mean, I wasn't going to focus on mucous membrane. I'm mostly just sad because hot chocky should never be wasted. Never, ever, ever waste the hot chocky. Okay, let us, with the heavy freight hauler deck in hand, let's now see if I can make this fit on the board. Scroll down so we can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, we start with 1 right on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to like slide it all the way down so that some of it's actually off the screen a little bit, and even then. Dang, I do apologize, but at least until I can figure out a better way to present this, this is the best that we can do. No canals in space. It'll block your canals in a minute as long as it's a canal. Move sheet and have it rotated 90 degrees. The ship might be a pain in the canal. Ah. Blocked. None of you are free from sin. Look, I could try and reorient everything and rotate it 90 degrees, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that. It should be enough that you can see the suit and the number for all of them. And what I will do is I promise to make this somehow better for next time, because I'm going to run this next week. Absolutely I am. So, that being said, we're a brand new PTSD-riddled veteran cowboy trying to make a living. Should we have stayed in our lane? Maybe. We have, right here, right now, this is our airlock. This is what we need to send crashing through one of these outer cards. Friends, we've got a lot of options. And frankly, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the PDF has these handy numbers on the deck plan for for the threat area, for where threats happen. And I am going to roll a d6 and I'm going to put our airlock 1 unit to the left of whatever number we get. So that way we're not landing on one of the threat squares. That would be a bit silly of us. I'm going to roll a d6. Insana, you say 5? Well, we can see. We can certainly see. I'm going to roll a d6 for it, though. So, I've rolled a 1. Which has no cards to the left of it. So we're just going to go 1 row up and to the left of that. So right now, our airlock is right here. This is where we're beginning. We need a grizzled veteran token. I need to find a grizzled veteran token somewhere in my house. I have a bunch of minis. I could use minis. I have a better idea. We are going to represent PTS Dave. We are going to represent PTS Dave with one of my favorite little trinkets that I've ever received. I believe I got them as a gift from a friend, very, very good friend of mine at a convention one year. They normally have a little D20 sitting in their tail. But this is a little dragon. They're a little adorable, little red and black dragon. Go ahead and focus. There you go. And this is now going to represent PTS Dave, trying to make a better start in life. Straight ahead or left? That is the question now for you, chat. Straight ahead or left? In what direction are we going to start to move? I'm going to go ahead and take a... Dumbass Sapphic says never be straight. Go ahead and focus for us or the camera. Go ahead and focus, I think, may have been for me. I have don't go straight and I have a left. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go left. We're going to start by rolling our gas. Instantly incrementing our gas as our heavy smoker... PTS Dave immediately starts to suck down noxious fumes, and we end up with the 10 of clubs as our first card revealed, which is a barrier. It is in fact so many bodies. The first thing that we find is so many bodies, which is perfect for this veteran. We got to roll a d6. We rolled a 6 though, so we get straight through. Thank goodness for that. Let's go ahead and we will keep moving this way. We'll roll for gas. Rolling a 2, which is Gonna increment our gas even further. We're already not having a good time. That's okay. As we reveal this time the 10 of diamonds. Finally, some good news. Very early on in the piece as well. The 10 of diamonds is medical supplies. And there's load 5. So we can lift load 4. We have load 4 with us right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave a little note for myself, the number 1 on a token, to indicate that there's 1 left on that piece. We're going to take our load 5, and I think we're just going to turn straight back around. Literally straight back around. We're going to go back through the so many bodies, because we can do that as long as it's not a dead end. We roll for gas. We increment our gas. We roll for the obstacle. We rolled a 1, so I'm going to go ahead and say we spend some grit to make that into the weak success, meaning that we get to go through and into the next module, where we will immediately roll for gas. The 4 is technically a failure at this point. Really not going great at this gas, but we're at the airlock and we get to make an airlock move. And we rolled a 6. So we turn 4 load straight into cargo. 1, 2, 3, 4 cargo straight away. Dave, the suit works better if you turn the air on. Dave, air! Dave, did you put the air tank on the suit? I'm looking at the suit. I don't think so. So we rolled a 6 on the airlock move, which means we can just get straight back into it. But also, we have already... we already right now, if we roll a 6, we will die. Has anyone told Dave he has to breathe, please? He's too used to being given orders. So what I'm going to do is... I am going to go ahead and we're going to use our glow and we're going to take a peek at the module straight ahead. And it wasn't the payday, so I think we just leave. I think we get out of Dodge right now, gang. What do we think? Do we have our first successful cargo and return? Go home, Dave, you've earned it. 5 me to head to sleep. 'Twas fun. Talk later, Pixel. Thank you so much for coming out and enjoying the stream, Delta. It's lovely having you as always. Dave got some meds. He's all good. You know what, gang? That's it. We're doing it. We are jetting off. Dave is leaving this shitty place. Dave is leaving this bird. We're never going back. GG. Good job, Dave. You successfully did it. You did it. So we go ahead and with our debt, we make a bank move. The bank move that we have to do is roll a d6, and we want a 2 or above. We got a 6. So the bank is willing to extend us 9 credits for 1 more debt. So, that's that, which is nice and that's very good for us. So, we turn our 4 cargo, straight off the bat, we turn our 4 cargo into 4 cred, minus 1 for upkeep, so we end up with 3 cred at the end of that journey, and the bank has just given us a loan of 9 if we want to take it. So for something I didn't think we'd get to, because we sucked the first 2 times, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the PDF, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the upgrades that we can get. All the way down. Here we go. Okie dokie. So, we can have, for the cost of 3 cred, we can have more grit. We can have more glow. Glow is probably going to be good. Oh, scanner. Actually, this is what we need to do. Is gas on there because Dave needs some of that? We'll find out. Give us a second. First of all, I want to check the scanner. It'll let you check a module before you decide to drop your airlock. Bad news is it can't be wired into your ship's power supply. So we can get one scanner module for our current ship, and it means that we can scan where we're about to put our airlock, which is basically just, let's scan it. If we scan it and it's the payload, we go right next to it. Otherwise, we just dock as normal. So I think we pick up a scanner for 4 cred. So we're going to take that loan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's increase our debt. Our debt's still only 3. I think that's pretty good. And we'll go ahead and we'll drop 4 cred straight away for the scanner. Which does increase our upkeep by 1, but that's okay. The success part of the PDF? Oh wow. Is bold of you to assume I speak to my mother. Wow. Keep it civil, y'all. Keep it civil. I think the thing that Yin is interested in is probably either this Dead Man cylinder or the Outlast Deep Breather. So the Dead Man cylinder is just enough O2 to make it through your airlock, transit 1 module safely without a gas check. So that's just, if we know we're on the brink of death, we can get 1 closer. And the Outlast Deep Breather is the very finest in technology for not dying gasping in the depths of space. Punch this enormous needle into the chem port of your suit and let the CO2 scrubber nanobots oxygenate your tissues in style. Transit up to 5 modules safely without a gas check. So the Outlast Deep Breather is essentially the better version of the Dead Man cylinder. And it costs 6 cred, so we could get it now. Oh, but it's single use. So maybe we just get the Dead Man cylinder for 2 cred? Emergency scrubber in the middle, you're right, what is that? Transit up to 3 modules safely without a gas check. What do we think? I think maybe we do get the emergency scrubber. So we can go 3 modules without a gas check. That might be helpful. I suppose we'll take a quick look at what else is there. We can get more gear, we can get more glow. Scanner we've already got one of. We can get an override key in case we get locked in somewhere. It looks like the crybaby is if we get a threat, it'll chase the crybaby before chasing us. Which, we haven't encountered a threat yet, so I think we might leave that, honestly. Those are those. The spares bank. The spares bank lets you carry a surplus of 3 gear, 3 grit, and 3 gas, which we get by going back to the airlock. The emergencies, yeah, right. So you can totally get better at this space hulking. Yeah, we can. It looks like once we do what we just did, it is totally possible to get better at this. You know what? I think we will get a spare parts bank, and when we end up having to go back, spare parts is 3 cred. And it increases our upkeep by another 1, which is okay. And I think, yeah, we'll get that emergency scrubber as well, maybe. Oh, no, let's just get the Dead Man cylinder. Fuck it. Let's be cheapskates about it. Okay, so we've got the 1 module without you making a gas check. We've got a spare parts bank, which comes with, where is it? Where did it go? I want to make sure I'm reading it right. It's, yeah, so it comes with 3 gear, 3 grit, and 3 gas that we can get when we do an airlock thing. Cheapskates and air don't go well together. That's okay. PST Dave is going to be fine. Okay, wonderful. So let's go back up to bird generation, I guess, and we'll generate another bird. Don't worry, PTS Dave should have enough air as long as the suit is on. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'd hope so. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Before I pack up all of the cards from the last ship, I'm going to check just 2 more to see if they were the payload. They weren't. Okay. That's probably for the best. There's that Joker that we need. Drop the character sheet back down so that we don't have camera focusing issues, hopefully. Suit on, Dave. Dave, no streaking in space. Put this cylinder on it. Okie dokie. And I'm also just going to very quickly check in with apparently a friend. Friend is currently being sad with me about the fact that you cannot currently get a physical copy of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, which is a D&D book. Not currently what we're paying attention to, but that's okay. Shuffle these cards. Okay, let's go ahead and just one more shuffle. Let's go ahead and roll a d6 to determine bird tier. Going with a tier 1 ship, and we're going to be going for the tier 1 civilian vessel, a familiar ship. A familiar ship that hopefully now with our extra fantastic stuff, with our fantastic extra upgrades, we'll just be able to pick clean safely with no issue whatsoever. So I need to go ahead and with the Joker there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, hopefully the foot doesn't fall off. Hopefully it does not fall off. And just to ease my paranoia, because I am genuinely worried here. Go ahead and shuffle these ones up. Labard, you are making a Clark and Door reference, right? That's where we were getting at with that. There was a part of me that wasn't quite sure, and I wanted to be absolutely certain. Yep, excellent. 10 out of 10. Okay, so in the familiar pattern of civilian craft, we have 1, a 1, 2. Oop, I'll move it over a little bit actually, because we end up with a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. And given we now have this very wonderful explanation of things, I'm going to go ahead and ask, friends, do we go in via the hands, the feet, or the head of this upside down funky cool cat? We've got 2 feet left and right, 2 hands. Sorry, just to point them out. 2 feet, 2 hands, and a head. Right in the face. Head, question mark? Alright, but we're going to scan it first. The scanner lets us check what it is before we drop the airlock on it. So let's scan the head. And aren't we glad we did that? The scanner module has already paid off. We nearly blew the payload for the second time. Ooh, look at this fancy koi poke in their fancy scanner. You are damn right, Libard. Already the scanner pays for itself. It's a single-use scanner, so we can only use it once. Sorry, we only use it once per thing. It's a one upkeep to do. So we can't do it again. But that's fine, because it means we can just casually land here and pop in for a quick little, let's go ahead and check gas as we move into the payload. We rolled a 1, so we are already off to a great start with PTS Dave and his smoking habit. But we wind up on the payload straight away. Let's go ahead and pull up the payload rules. Payday, rather, not payload. So we roll... First of all, let's roll 3d6 to figure out what it is. Smooth, Dave. I see a theme of landing, taking the first thing and leaving. Honestly, it's emphysema, Dave. It might be what we have. This might be it. So it's a 2-3. It's the secondary compression housing. And we roll a d6. You get a 4, which means we can choose 2. Choose 2 things. So I'm going to say that removing it isn't going to cause the ship to fall apart. Hey, Singal! First time chat. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's lovely to have you here. That's a 4. Yeah, so we're going to have this so the ship isn't going to come apart. You've joined us at a very opportune time, Singal, because we're about to grab the payload from this here space vessel without the ship coming apart. And I'm also going to say that we're also not going to attract unwanted attention from a threat. Those are our 2 benefits we're going to take. Not too bad, just finished another stream. That's awesome to hear. Was it a stream that you were taking a part in, or someone else's stream? Already has the secondary compression housing and maybe the emphysema. Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do to remove it, given that, is we need to spend a grit and check gas. So we need to spend a grit. We'll happily do. And we check our gas. No, someone else's. What were you watching? Was it good? I'm going to be playing in a stream soon, though. Oh, that's awesome to hear. What are you going to be playing? That dice went all the way into the middle there and rolled a 3. So that's actually really good, because that was our gas roll. So we spend a grit. We check our gas. We don't break the ship apart. We don't get unwanted attention from a threat. And we just take the secondary compression housing with us immediately, and we go back to the airlock straight away. Really, Raygun was who I was watching. Oh, wonderful. So awesome. We're back in the airlock. We'll make our airlock move. They were playing Pathfinder. Ooh, the video game or the tabletop game? Roll a 3 on our airlock move, which from memory isn't great. Not great, not terrible. It's like 3.6 Rontgen. Just trying to double check what our airlock move is. Oh. Okay, so we need to choose 2. Okay, so I'm going to say one of the airlock parts burns out again, because that's just, a thing that happens. It's unfortunate, but that's okay. So we increase our upkeep by 1. And we can either spend a gear, check our gas again, or the airlock gives a lurch and tears away from the ship. We're done for the day. The video game, but I enjoy watching tabletop more typically. That's deeply fair. I really do think there's a really good place in the world for the video games. But the only the only tabletop style game that I've played is I've played a couple of sessions of Divinity 2 Original Sin with a close friend of mine, and that has been really fun, but it has confused me a little bit in how they're meant to work outside. Like, I can imagine one game like that working, but it's weirdly a tabletop combined with like World of Warcraft combined with it's a real interesting like video tabletop. No 3.6R. I lost where I was. Where was I? Oh, right, yes. I was going to say that we may as well check our gas as well, because we're in a good gas situation, and because we're in the airlock, we can actually take supply from the spare bank. So we can lower our gas immediately and then continue exploring if we want. But we check our gas and it's fine. So let's go ahead and we will take... Let's go ahead and we'll take 2 grit with us. Actually, no, we can just take the whole lot with us. We can take all 3 grit. And we'll take our 3 gear with us, because this is something we have to upkeep anyway. And we'll reduce our gas back to the minimum. Because we may as well. And we will continue. Gang, I think we're going to just go left from our current position. So we'll end up here. We'll check our gas real quick. Roll above a 1, so we're fine. And underneath this fine card, we have the 3 of Spades. 3 of Spades, which is a... It is one of our bad things. It's our bad news spades. System lockout. Fatal error, terminal exception, system cache, purge, abort, retry, fail, hellfire, ruination. Nothing's ever easy. We roll a d6. We can coup gentle reassurances at the computer and bypass. We can reroute, or it's going to take some time on a 4 or a 5. On a 1 or a 3, all supply cards now grant 1 resource on a success or none on a weak hit. So here's hoping that we roll a 4 or a 5, or we will spend grit to make this one a minor success, because I don't want to freeze the system. Now let's go ahead and roll. We got a 4, so we can spend a gear right now, or we can check gas. I'm going to say we check gas, because we're doing okay on gas right now. We rolled a 2, which is above a 1, so we're fine. We have solved the problem of the system lockout. We're rerouting. It's not great, but we're good. We can keep going. I think we're just going to keep going up to the feet of this little upside down man. Check our gas again. Roll a 3, so we're doing fine. We flip open another problem, the 10 of Spades. Don't like how many problems we're getting. No, I think we should peak. We'll peak the next one, Yin. You make a good point. We should probably have peaked the moment we encountered a problem. 10 picked over. Roll a d6. On a 4 or a 5, additional salvage is half value. Rounded up. It doesn't matter about a 1 through 3. The payday can't be gone because we already got it. So, hopefully we just roll... Honestly, if we roll a 1 through 3 or a 6, we're fine. We've got a better chance at a good result than not. And we rolled a 4. So, all additional salvage from now on this vessel is half value, which is not great. Not terrible. Again, it's about 3.6 Rontgen. Yin, you make a good point. Let's go ahead and use our glow, of which we only have 1. And let's take a shine at that boot. Take a shine at what is the 4 of Hearts. Which is... It would give us gear, but we're already pretty much at max gear, so I think we can leave that one and we might leave the other foot. We'll assume that there's something bad behind that one, and we'll move into the next module to our right. Rolling a 3 on our gas check, so we're doing fine. We move into the 8 of hearts. Just like that. Which is a familiar layout. Your mind couldn't help but put it all together, right? You know this bird. You've seen plenty like it. You buck up. You've got this. We earn grit, or we have the opportunity to earn grit. Yeah, of course this is common. Of course we've seen this one before. We've seen trillions of ships like this. We rolled a 3, so we do not actually get that grit. There's no point in spending grit to make that a success, so unfortunate. Could have been better, could have been worse. So we'll go ahead and I guess we will check gas. Check gas and move on. Our gas is fine. 7 of hearts. Familiar or flashback? Yin, I honestly, PTS Dave is having a really good time right now. It's awesome. The 7 of hearts. Stripped conduit. This whole section of the wall is worse for wear, but that just means it's easier for an enterprising belter to get their hands on what they need. So we make a d6 roll to see if we can acquire some gear. And on a 6, we gain 2 gear, which brings us up to our maximum. So we have a lot of gear. Like, so much gear. Which we can spend to roll extra dice, by the way. So, let's go ahead and check out the wing, I think. We'll roll for our gas first. There's that emphysema coming back for Dave. We will increase that error range to 1 and 2. Move into the 10 of hearts, which is more supply. Wow. Catch your breath. Take a minute, Belter. This job is demanding and it's easy to get frazzled. The O2 will hold out for a minute. We can roll to acquire grit. We rolled a 1. We do not acquire grit. That's okay. We roll gas to move back. Roll a 5. That's fine. We will roll gas to move down another module, which is also right next to our airlock. So I think this might be an exit. We roll fine on gas and we move into the 9 of diamonds. So we do have some salvage before we leave. 999. Harmless contraband. You know, if the Concordant just went ahead and legalized this stuff, they'd make a mint. It's normally load 2, which is fine. It does only transfer to 1 cred, so I'm just going to mark it as 1 once we get it into the airlock. We can carry it for sure. Stops for a smoko, decides to leave. Yeah, genuinely, I think that might be, it's good. I think we might be good. So, we'll grab that. We'll head into our airlock. We'll make our airlock move real quick. We rolled a 1 on the airlock move, so that could be interesting. We have to choose 2. We have to choose 2 things for our next thing. I'm going to say that we check our gas. Queerly Tattooed subscribed with Prime. Excuse me. Excuse you. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. First of all, I checked gas. We're fine on gas. The other error that we get for the airlock move can be the airlock gives a lurch and tears away from the ship. You're done for the day. And given we were going to leave anyway, I'm going to have that be that. So we get in our ship and we fly away. We leave. We go. We've got so many things. Thanks, Daddy Bezos, indeed. Queerly Tattooed, thank you so much for the sub. The only reason you're not our first ever sub is that I decided to love the chat for people and I gifted a sub to my own community and decided to launder money. You've been here for 30 minutes? That's awesome! Thank you so much for coming out to the stream and hello! It is so lovely to have you here. We are currently playing our 3rd cowboy, our 3rd space cowboy, and we just successfully made it back from our 2nd trip. This is 2 birds we've looted, and we've survived. Amazingly, we've survived. So that cargo, we had 4 cargo from the payload, and we got 1 effective cargo from that last square. So we end up with 5 creds coming out of that trip, which I love for us. We love money laundering here. All the Pop-Tarts a veteran can carry. You looking for some, like, players? I'm not running anything on stream for multiple people just yet. I do have great plans to do that at some stage, but I need to figure out a couple of steps before I do that. So at the moment, I'm just playing these solo games on Thursday and doing our Tabletop Tales on Sundays and doing our writing stream on Fridays. But I will probably be running a game on stream at some point in the future. I imagine I'll run a one-shot or something before the year is out. If I can organize myself to do something after the crunch of NaNoWriMo, but before the crunch of Christmas, maybe there's something in that two-week period, the first couple of weeks of December, maybe? I don't know. Everyone here has such great names, and I agree with Queerly here. Your name is fantastic too. Singal is a fantastic name. That's cool, Pixel. I hope you keep me in mind. I definitely keep you in mind. I keep all of my wonderful viewers in mind for these things. If you want to go ahead and send me a whisper or something, just so that I don't lose track. I don't know if you can just send whispers to people. I don't know what privacy settings are. If you're able to, go ahead and send me a whisper, and I'll make sure that I keep you in mind. Otherwise, if you have me on Discord or you know me from Discord, go ahead and send me something on Discord then. Send me something from somewhere. Hell, go to Twitter and send me a tweet. Direct message or something. Anything, just so that I don't forget, because I will forget. I'm terrible with memory. Anyway, where was I? Right, we're in our bank period for this character. And just thank you again very much for the sub. And Dumbass Sapphic is redeeming Hydrate. This is such a wonderful night. I'm being told to sip. It is, in fact, sip time. Thank you very much for that, Sapphic. A drink of water is just what I needed. Okay, so... I'm going to put the sheet back down here. I don't know how much you can see it, but we have currently 8 cred that we've earned just now. We have an upkeep of 4, and most of that was, or 2 of that was in that moment, I believe. I'm just going to double check our upgrades and remember which ones come from our upgrades, because our normal ship upgrade is 1, and we had 1 for the scanner, 1 for the spares bank. Okay, so we remove 1 of these upkeeps after we spend our 4 upkeeps, so we'll just get rid of those 4 creds there, leaving us with 4 remaining. We didn't use our emergency dead man cylinder, so we're good on that front. The bank technically makes a move. Exclamation mark Discord. No, I don't have any of those cool shortcuts set up yet. I don't have a Discord. I really should get one. That's a lie. I have a bunch of Discords that I'm in and administer, but none of them are connected to the stream. They're all just places that I exist. Our debt is currently less than 3, so I will go ahead and we will roll our bank move, which is... hopefully we roll a 2 through 6. Nope, we rolled a 1. The bank just compounded our interest, and our debt is now 4, which is not great. Not great, given it's 10 cred to pay off a debt, and we're not there yet. We're definitely going to have to go back out into space and salvage another vessel to try and pay off that debt. Thankfully, nothing terrible happens. Does the vet have a debt move? No. Our debt move is when we have 9 debt, we can't brute force an ignorance. Which I forgot that we had. I'm going to write that down on the character sheet, because I forgot that we had that. When we fail an obstacle roll, we can just spend gear to succeed. I feel like you're in a couple that I am. As a bank worker, Lamau, you interest. Oh yeah, this is definitely that kind of a stream. This is I think someone, I don't know if the comparison still stands, Labard, but Labard said that this seems like the tabletop equivalent of Hard Space Hard, also known as Hard Space Shipbreaker, or Hard Ship Space Breaker, or Space Hard Break Ship. One of those is the name of the video game. Numbers go up sounds fake. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But that's okay. I'm gonna grab our little dude, our little friend, PTS Dave, the little dragon. Put him on his airship, and we are gonna have to generate another vessel, another bird for us to pick apart. Let me go ahead and move down to that section of the PDF, and for your benefit, show you ye olde PDF. This is the most fun I think I've had with any of these games, by the way. And just to prove it to you all, I'm taking the other Joker out too. I'm not making that same mistake twice in one stream. So if you haven't been around, I'll give you the details. What we've done here on stream on Thursday nights is we've played a lot of solo tabletop games. We played some Call of Cthulhu. There's a lot of Call of Cthulhu, like choose your own adventures, essentially, and those were very, very fun. We only succeeded in one of them, but we had a lot of fun with all of them. And we had one Thursday where we played, or maybe we did it on a Sunday. I think it was a Thursday though. We played 2 games. We played a randomly generated dungeon game where you draw dice and roll them to generate things, and that was very procedural and very bland and boring, and there was no fun to it. We never felt like we were doing something cool. And then there was another game that was a journaling game, so we kind of overviewed it, but we didn't play it. But this, I think, is the perfect solo game. There's it's exciting, it's got mystery, I don't feel like I'm just drawing dead all the time. It's fun. It's very fun. Labard, you gotta go. See you, Space Cowboys. Good night, Space Cowboy. It was lovely to have you here. Nothing but love and respect. I appreciate your input on our cowboy life. Okay, I think we've been streaming for nearly 3 hours now, by the way, so I think what this is going to be is probably our last ship. This is going to be our last ship for the day. So we're going to generate this one vessel. We're going to try our best. To get through it. And hopefully we won't die. And Emphysema Dave, aka PTS Dave, aka Dave, Air Dave, hopefully they will survive. We'll find out. But first up, go ahead and roll a d6 to determine the bird tier. I've rolled a 2, which is another tier 1. And for the class, I have rolled a 4, which is the merchant vessel. So we're going to see a new ship. This is tier 1 merchant. This is a light cargo freighter. Merchant class CM23L Camel. Civilian Mercantiles L series, basically a drive frame strapped to a central spine. The cargo units are modular, held in place with magnetic clamps. Those get finicky as they get older, so keep an eye on that. So for this, we are going to need 10 cards plus the Joker. So we head on over to our main hands. You will see the Joker right there, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Big deck goes here. All 10 cards are here. Hopefully we've got some diamonds. Hopefully we're gonna have a good time. This is our last ship. Let's hope for some good luck for Dave. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug, move over, and lay out these cards in a fairly nice fashion. It's a fairly nice looking layout we've got. So we start with 1, 2, 3 cards here at the bottom. Then 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 here at the top. I'll lay them out a little nicely if I can. Okay, friends. For the last time tonight, though hopefully not the last time with Dave, where are we going to deploy? Remembering that we will scan before we land. Got our Joker, got our Dave. I'm thinking we may work our way in from the tail on this one. What do we think, chat? Work our way in from the tail? Right back in the back? Right in the middle of the spine? Right into the neck? What do you consider the neck to be? You mean that this little middle card here? What do you mean by neck, Yin Sono? The narrow bit, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Sure. Well, let's go ahead. We'll use our scanner, and we'll see if that's the payload before we crash into it. Yin Sono! That is the payload! Again! This scanner has done more for our ability to do things than anything else. The scanner saves lives. The scanner saves lives and lives. Cool. I'm gonna say that we're gonna just touch down next to it. By coming in, we'll come back around, we'll come in down the butt, like I said we were going to do the first time. Break on in. I forgot to rub out our gas move from last ship, so I'll just quickly fix that. Let's go ahead, let's roll a d6 for our gas check. That's a 6, that's fine. And we'll move into the payload. Which, oh boy, hopefully we're gonna have a good time. First of all, what is this thing? Let's roll 3d6 and find out. It is a 6-1. We have the catalytic induction. The catalytic induction coil. Dave remembered to turn the suit on. Yeah, he did. The catalytic induction coil. It's something we need to roll a d6 for as we encounter it. Oop. That's not a dice roll, that's a fumble. That is Pixel dropping something. Oh, which we gotta love. It is a 3. Oh no! Oh no 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 no! That's a 3! Can I affect that roll with something? Technically we're responding to the prompt of the module. So I can spend grit to turn a failed roll into a mixed success. I think. Dave isn't dead, but if I can't make this not a 3, the thing is gone. Technically, this is the module prompt. So we're able to spend grit, I think, to turn a failed roll into a mixed success. Awesome, yeah, I'm spending grit, for sure. And it becomes a 4/5 on the payday roll, which means I need to choose 2 things. Chat, I'm gonna leave this up to you, I think. I'm gonna show you this here PDF. These are the things we can choose from right here. We need to pick 2 of these to be true. We can have it be worth more than we first imagined. We can transport the whole thing in one trip regardless of size. We cannot attract unwanted attention. We cannot cause the ship to split apart. We cannot need to check gas. And we cannot need to spend a grit. So we pick 2 of these things. And everything else has to happen. So we could have it be very valuable and we can transport it all at once, but the threat can happen. And the ship will break, and we need to spend grit, and we need to check gas. Last 2, worth more and can run with it. Yeah, I knew the moment I opened it up to you guys that you would all decide to do that. I understood that. I knew it was going to be the case. And yet I still said, sure, let them choose. I knew this was going to happen. Can I start, like, a poll at this point? No, there's no point in me starting a poll. Take the Pop-Tarts and run, Dave. Right next to the exit, reckless fools. You know what, gang? I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you are absolutely correct. So, what happens is we add +2 load and cred value. So this is now a 6 load, 6 cred payload, but we can transport the whole thing in one trip. We need to spend grit to remove it, so I'll go ahead and spend that grit. We need to check gas. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'm going to show you that we rolled a 5 by going back to our main. That 5 there. So we're fine on gas. The ship does come apart, and we do get a threat though. So first of all, let's go ahead and pull up the bird platform. Oh, hang on. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the ship break move. So we roll a dice and consult the bird's deck plan. Which for this particular vessel is... Dave just pulling the spine of the ship out. I'll bring up the PDF. So we need to roll a d6. No, this is not the ship. This is the ship. If we roll a 1 or a 2, we're golden. If we roll a 3 or a 4... Actually, no. There is no roll on this that doesn't end up really well for us. Because of where we landed and where the payday is, if we roll anything right now, our airlock and our payday all stay in the same place. So let's go ahead and we'll roll it. And I'll bring up the roll so you can see down here. We rolled a 4. And a 4 means that we move the top 3 cards, it looks like. And we just shove them out. So let's go ahead and move this over here a little bit. So we take this card here, and these 2 here just get yeeted off. They are broken apart. That's fine. That's deeply fine. With our threat, I'll bring us back to the PDF again. We roll 1d6 to determine the type of threat that we have. And then we mark their position, and then we do their threat thing before we do. So first of all, I'm going to roll the d6. That's the wrong view pixel. There we go. So it's a 3. So it's a rogue AI. The rogue AI is the threat. I need to go back to the ship deck plan so we can figure out the location now. So the rogue AI starts in a position based on a d6 roll. If we roll a 3 or a 4, the threat is so impossible to deal with. Watch it be a 1 though. Insano, if we roll a 1, I'm still blaming your curse for this. Insano. Yinsano. Yin, middle name Sano. You and your one's curse have put the rogue AI, today represented by this dinosaur thing that I found in my desk that I believe a good friend of mine left at my house at one point, and it kind of clicks. I don't know if you can hear that, but it kind of does a click. And you put it right in our airlock. Yin, middle name Sano. Awesome. Cool. So, Cool. So we attract unwanted attention from a threat. So I'm going to scroll back down to the threats. Every time you transit a module before you check your gas, pull a card from the top of the unused portion of your card deck. The threat makes a move based on the suit of the card you pull. And it's the Rogue AI. So, with our payload in hand, we move into our airlock module. And before we check gas, we draw from this deck. We draw a club. The Rogue AI moves twice in our direction. Guess what? It's here. When the Rogue AI shares a module with you, roll a d6. On a 6, it taunts you, calls you a pathetic creature of meat and bone, but it doesn't do much else. On a 4 or a 5, it keeps a cold mechanical eye on you as you struggle. For all barrier and bad news rolls, roll 2 dice to take the lower. On a 1 or a 3, it resets all barrier and bad news cards on the ship. When the Rogue AI reaches your airlock, it infects your ship. Add 2 to your upkeep for the necessary downtime and repairs to keep it from taking over completely. So, I mean, first of all, rolled a 5, so all the other bad news is different. But we just add 1, we add 2 to our upkeep. Which, Yinsano, effectively means that the extra 2 from our, extra load, is just spent. And that's fine. That's fine. Right? But, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After we make an airlock check. We got a 4 on the airlock check. Let me just quickly check the airlock move. We rolled a 4 or a 5, so we got to choose an option. I think we may spend a gear to improvise a storage solution, which makes sense given the thing that we just put in there. Oh, we have to check our gas from earlier as well. We rolled a 6, which is more than 1, so we're fine. Genuinely, the threat is already in our airlock. If we keep going through the rest of the ship to find other things, it can follow us and continue to do bad things. But right now, we're already kind of screwed. So what I might do is I'll use Glow, and we'll check one of the modules next to us. Chat, left or right? 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 Ew, you got Rogue AI on the bumper, we got a friend, smiley face. These are the 2 different moods to a Rogue AI putting itself on your ship. I'm hearing left. We're going to quickly use our Glow, and we're going to check left. Yeah, that's bad news. We're out of here. We are leaving. ETS Dave is saying, nah, forget it. We are doing a really good job as is, but forget it. It's not happening. We're leaving now. The Rogue AI is coming with us. Just going to move all of these things together into the dice tray. Cool. Let's go ahead and let's see what we've got here. So first of all, we convert 6 cargo to 6 creds. And then we upkeep 5. Which wipes out those. But we get rid of that Rogue AI, thankfully. And then the bank makes a move. We still own... Oh, we have 4 debt now, actually, so... we get less chances at credit, I believe. We rolled a... what is that? A 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. No change. So we are not in any further debt. We don't get any credit extended our way. And we can't remove any debt because we only have 5 creds so far. 1 credit and an undying friendship. So at the end of that, At the end of that, not a particularly successful last salvage, but we can say this. PTS Dave, aka Emphysema Dave, aka Turn the Air On Dave, aka Dave, has managed to eke out a living, salvage 3 ships successfully, live to tell the tale, and as a result, we're in the excellent and awesome situation of having a character to continue on with next time. And we will be continuing on next time. Don't you get me mistaken on that. We are definitely going to be doing this again. This has been the most fun I've had with a random like proc gen style solo game in a while. It's been great fun. This is one of my favorite games now. I'll say it. It might be my favorite solo RPG. Full stop. It might genuinely be better than the Cthulhu ones. It's a very actually no, it's not fair to compare the two. That's apples and oranges. But that was really, really fun. We had a great stream. I was told to hydrate. Got our first subs. Never really cared about subs, but we've got them and I love them dearly. PTS Dave is going to make, I have decided just now on the spot, PTS Dave is going to make a triumphant return to your screen next Thursday at 7 PM Sydney time, as we have ourselves another go at Dead Belt, the solo RPG for Space Cowboys. This wonderful game, this fantastic, wonderful, excellent 10 out of 10 game that I cannot get enough of, is from Sean and Navi Drake, a couple of Drakes. It is available for 10 USD on itch.io. I am going to, once again, once I pull it up, I'm going to drop a link to where you can buy this game in chat, because I cannot recommend it enough. There is my chat, here we go. There, you can buy Dead Belt there. It's 10 US, I really recommend it. I did also just want to point out something I didn't notice. Where is it? Where is it? So they do occasionally have community copies. Which I believe means that if someone grabs a copy, gives some extra money, I don't know how much extra money, they'll put up community copies that you can grab for free. So if you're not able to, if 10 US is too much, if it's not something you can fit in your bank account right now, you can grab a community copy. They're currently all claimed, but I'm not going to lie to you, I loved this game enough. I'm probably going to go ahead and buy an extra copy and say, please put it on the tab. Let someone else in the community grab it. I would recommend that you buy it as well. This has been so much fun. We're going to play it again next week. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Yeah, wow. Wasn't expecting to have as much fun as we did. It has been awesome having you here. It is November, which is NaNoWriMo, which means that tomorrow, Friday night from 6:30 Sydney time, I'm going to be doing a writing stream, 2 hours of creative juices flowing in a creative writing and co-working space. I'm going to talk about our nano projects and then knuckle down, and we'll probably get, an hour and a half of writing done at least. Hopefully make our word count for the day. And then on Sunday at 10:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or Sydney time if you want to be quick about it, we will have another edition of Tabletop Tales, the Sunday chill stream where we talk about tabletop news and things that are happening. I'll probably mention the fact that sadly Fizban's Treasury of Dragons is had its physical release delayed again in Australia, so it seems, which will be, a sad thing to note, but it is the case. Sad indeed. But that's on Sunday. Sunday, 10:30 Sydney time. Tomorrow, 6:30 Sydney time. Next week, more of Dead by Davelight, also known as Classic Capitalism, also known as Dead Belt. More of that next week at 7. But for now, I'm tired. We've been going for a while. I'm going to go to bed. It has been absolutely bloody marvelous to play games with you all tonight. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I hope that you all sleep well. I hope that the next day is good to you. I hope it is a bones day, as the kids are now saying. I just hope it's good for you. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Pixel, your they, them, forever DM. Thank you very much for a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.